Hello, hello, welcome in. How's everyone doing on this fine Tuesday? And actually a fine Tuesday today, it's kind of sunny outside. Zoita Midnight and I Dream of Wombles, thank you for the resubs, appreciate you both. Hope you're all well. Let's get started. Choppin Tuesday, the day we chop wood or other resources in this case. Sometimes we just chop concepts, like, to be fair. We do a lot of chopping here regardless, and today we're going to be going back to the huge iron vein that I was digging out in today's episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide, Season 2. What was episode? It was like episode 32 today? It's 33 tomorrow? We're a third of the way to 100 already, that's frightening. D Lobster, thank you so much for that brand new tier 1 sub to the channel. Enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million, I appreciate the support. Hunter with the 100 bits, kicking off the hype train. Everyone immediately leaps on the hype train. Casto, what's up? Thank you for the 15 months. Rendina gifting 10 subs to the community. Folks in the chat who just got gifted a sub, make sure you thank Rendina for that very generous gift. And Nixcraft didn't miss you with the 200 bits. Thank you very much. Very kind of you all to show some support right here at the start of the stream. So it is Choppin Tuesday, and we already have 100% on level 1 of the hype train, so we're on to level 2. Yeah, let's hop into the survival guide world and let's see if we can find that iron vein again, because I know the way I got down to it, but I found like a different area from the one we had found previously. First of all, though, Wobbly Prime with Prime for 12 months. We got a brand new nerd in the house. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chat, please. Wobbly Prime, enjoy your nerd sub badge. The 12-month sub badge. Welcome to the nerd herd. Thank you for the full year of support here on the channel. Leonie Gwyn, thank you so much for the brand new tier 1 sub as well. Sylvester Twitch with the 6 months. Enjoy the Yeet sub badge. It's all yours. Elsa Iris with the 100 bits. And Any Fraus 2 with the Prime sub as well. The brand new Prime sub to the channel. Thank you very much. Using a one and only Prime sub here. Love the community here. Our community is a great place. We call each other nerds proudly. And that's all there is to it, really. Devin gifting a sub as well. Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Red Maiko. Red Maiko, enjoy your 4th month. Here, subscribe to the channel. So let's get into it. Let's do our thing. You got to be kidding me. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. So, spoilers for tomorrow's episode. It's about bees. I'm probably going to pack these beehives up because we will want to do a little bit of automatic bee farming at some stage. So I want to make sure it gets to nighttime. We can pack all of these away. We'll get some more honeycomb from them because, of course, we're using that to wax the roof of the fishing shack, which is mostly working. We got a little bit of extra stuff to do there. But I just did an episode all about bees. It's going to be out tomorrow. So that's all good. We have candles. We have waxing copper. We have honeycomb and honey blocks. Creating beehives, all of that stuff. We're not going into the automation. That's going to be a separate episode, but it's kind of nice to at least teach people the basics, working with bees in the wild. If you don't want to go full automatic farming, you don't have to. That kind of stuff. My usual approach, really. So we're going to hang around a little bit here first. I'm going to get rid of some of these leaves, which I'm pretty sure I attached to this tree manually, and that's why they're not breaking. Pretty funny. That was the tree I rebuilt after explaining Silk Touch Hose, I think. So, yeah, I'm going to go and grab some iron from the iron farm real fast while we wait for the sun to go down, because that's when we know all the bees will be in the hives or nests or whatever they choose to call their home. Sonic Warrior with 100 bits. Thank you for the 100 bits. Mushroom Pigeon, you're here. You're here. Welcome in. Good to see you. So I've done a little bit more decorating around the outside of this farm now with the raw iron blocks and everything. I haven't used too many of them, though. We still have, like, 2 stacks of them left in the storage chest back in the house. And sooner or later, like, I think sooner rather than later, we are going to be outgrowing that storage system, I have a feeling. Because there's a couple of chests that I haven't really used, but they're right at the back, and I don't really want to put anything in them. So I think we're going to end up... I might leave this crafting table here, just expose it there so I know where it is. And we'll gather this one up, along with all of the poppies and whatnot. What can we chuck out here? We've got some sticks. We'll just throw those, throw the birch saplings as well. And honestly, the apple can go. Got enough of all of those. Storage systems always fill up quicker than I think. Yeah, it's funny, but you get a lot of items in this game. Gonna have to lurk today. Glad to support Pixaros over the last year. Hope to have the opportunity for many more. I hope so too, and thank you so much once again for the resub. It means a lot. Any plans for Final Fantasy anytime soon? Man, I was watching AGDQ last week, and watching the Final Fantasy 13 run made me really want to pick up Final Fantasy 13 again. I played that game a few times. I've basically 100%ed it. But man, I love that game. Like, in a way that nobody should, because, like, it's got its problems, but it's a good game. But yeah, I don't know if we will return to Final Fantasy all that soon. We'll have to see. I think we're probably going to add the honeycomb to the copper and gold chests for the moment, because obviously it's related, you know. We'll put glass in the glass. Just started a nomadic playthrough, quickly realizing I'm going to need a silk touch pick, so I'm running out of inventory space for shulkers. Yeah, you're going to need that ender chest pretty soon, huh? Kid got me into this game, now I'm addicted and can't stop watching these videos. It's a family game. It's a game for all the family. There's definitely a lot of people who got into this game because their kids were into it, and they're like, I want to know what this is about, and then they're like, oh wait, this game has enormous artistic potential and is kind of fun, and I can do these weird, like, technical things in them, and yeah, there's just so much to offer in Minecraft. So when these bees are ready to go home, once they've pollinated and everything, in the middle of making your own iron farm? Nice. I got a lot of comments on the iron farm video and related to the iron farm video in places like Twitter and whatnot about how I should have used somebody else's design, but honestly, I'm very proud of the fact that I made an iron farm basically all by myself, and hopefully the design works well for anybody who's interested. You can look elsewhere if it's not the farm for you. But it's funny, I get a lot of people telling me that I should be making these farms easier for beginners, but no beginners telling me the farm was too hard. Just expert players telling me that I'm making things too hard for some people who can frankly speak for themselves if they're having that much difficulty with it. But, you know, people got their opinions, it's fine. I'm not going to begrudge them that. If they think I should be doing something differently, then that's fair enough, but I will continue to do things the way I am, because honestly, I don't want to tear down and rebuild my entire iron farm just because somebody has a slightly easier design. If you get iron from the farm, it works. It's not so much about it working, it's just about the accessibility of it for newer players, which is, you know, the kind of thing that I can get behind, but I honestly don't think that farm is too bad for players, and frankly, it's okay because you learn stuff in making farms like that, which will prepare you for some other stuff we're going to do in this series. So really, it's a way for me to squeeze in lessons like, hey, you can move villagers and zombies around using bubble columns. Because how else are we going to get that advancement where you have to trade with a villager at the build limits? Like, I think it's probably going to be the case that either we find a really tall mountain and we do the painstaking thing of, like, trudging up there with a villager as though we're Sherpaing him up Everest, or we do the sensible thing and just build a tube 320 blocks in the air. It's probably easier to make than a lot of the other simple ones. I mean, there's definitely some farms which, you know, you don't have to put them so high off the ground, but honestly, like 30 blocks off the ground, 10 blocks off the ground, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Yeah, I don't know. I think people just have their preferences when it comes to that stuff. Again, totally fine. I'm not going to begrudge anybody their preferences, but you don't have to force those preferences on me, because I've got my ways of doing things. Bedrock Iron Farms need 10 to 20 villagers all with jobs. Yeah, Bedrock Iron Farms are completely different, tragically, and that's one of the things that I should have made slightly clearer from the beginning of the episode, but I did mention it towards the end. And I know some people play along with these episodes and kind of do things step by step the first time they see them, but I would recommend watching through a video in its entirety beforehand, before you start making some of the stuff in this and then realize it's for the wrong version of Minecraft. Zelda, thank you for the 8 months. Have no time for playing myself, but I like to chill and watch, playing vicariously. I do that with so many games. Right now I'm watching everybody else on Twitch play through the PlayStation God of War, because it just came out on PC, ahead of God of War Ragnarok coming out later this year. And I'm like, I love that game. I love watching that game. I have no time to play the game. And I think, honestly, the gameplay is not really for me. But yeah, I'm loving watching people play God of War. Why don't you use an axe? For what? I have an axe. Yes, I use an axe. Why don't I use an axe as my primary weapon? Because it can't have looting or sweeping edge. Any other questions? Hope the boat bug gets fixed in Bedrock with the chest boat update. I believe that's on the beta bug fix list now. I could be wrong. Bedrock folks, correct me if I'm wrong, because there are some people who keep track of Bedrock development a lot more fastidiously than I do. One of the other things I'm going to do real fast, because we might as well do this now, is go and grab all of the materials I left down here from the first time we mined out this huge vein. And then that way we can have an empty chest to continue doing that. I'm not going to be grabbing every piece of iron ore that I find in caves, but I do just want to dig out this large iron vein specifically. That's the idea. So we didn't mine the entire vein, no, Nebula, we didn't. We ended up mining an hour's worth of it, and there are probably, I want to say, another 3 or 4 hours worth in here. So we're going to be hopping down into what I hope is the same place. Like, I didn't exactly memorize the route down here, and I think I'm already lost, so that's great. But if we come upon an area with a couple of chests set up, and honestly, this looks like a place I have been mining, because, like, everything is all jagged around here. So I'm kind of curious if this... Yep, no, I can see the pillars of tuff that I've left myself to mark the way. So I think we're down here somewhere. Whoop. Don't want to just drop into a hole that I can't see down. And this is... Okay, this is not the right place. Oh, that's where the spawner and stuff was. So we have been here. We were here on a previous stream. It's when I found the vein to begin with. I just found it in a different place. And here's our zombie spawner. Yes, okay, cool. Rattlesnake, thank you for the 1100 bits as well. Sorry if I missed that one earlier. Is this part of the vein or no? Anytime I see a patch of tuff down here, I'm like, is this part of the same thing? But it's usually not.
Just right.
Castle Lion with the 16 months. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the great streams and content. Have a great day. You too. Thank you. Yeah, we have a bunch of tuff up here, but that's not part of the vein. Where did I see that pillar that I left? I've just completely lost what direction that was now. I should have just followed it upwards. That's what I should have done. Is it back here? See, I remember coming down here. Oh no, that was the area where we dug through and we found the deep slate coal, wasn't it? Huh. Let me also potentially grab a couple of other resources just so I can repair some durability on this pickaxe. It's very easy to get lost in these caves. I think if we go this way, does it lead... Oh no, we need to go in the negative X coordinate. I have the coordinates of where I originally found the iron vein, but I couldn't find my way back to that, and I ended up going in a completely different direction. I think it was more like over this way, and then that way. Which all looks relatively unexplored right now. But it's also down at like Y negative 26, I think, so... Well, completely failed that, never mind. Hello. Is this a strength spider?
Well,
I think it is.
Just
gosh.
right.
Spiders with swiftness are the reason you need Bane of Arthropods. If we go down here... That's a torch leading me back from this direction, so... I've just somehow ended up in the same place. I could, in theory, just dig through to where we were. Have I played Valheim? I have not, no. Other survival games typically aren't my thing. There's just something about Minecraft. Then again, I haven't really played that many other games lately. See, if I go this way... Let me briefly look up the chords of this vein, because if we start at the other end, then we'll be in the thick of it for a while. Where are the chords? It was before this. Here we go. 117. Okay, so we need to do about 100 blocks this way, but we're more or less on a level with it, so we might run into it. Might as well just do that now. I mean, this tuff could even be part of the vein, but I don't think it is. Then again... No, this is just a regular iron ore blob. Fair enough. Eight times, thank you for the Prime sub! Brand new Prime sub to the channel, enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. And LA16 Finn with 100 bits. Have I ever been in a sauna? No, I have not. I know how to pronounce it, though. Haha, take that, Finland. The Tim Reaper with the 10 months as well. Says, afternoon, all have a great stream picks. Thank you very much. Oh, here we go. This is the stuff right here. Yes. Okay, so we'll skip the part where I need to go and find the rest of those materials. We'll just grab a bunch of iron ore now. Because if we continue this way, we'll find the remainder of the vein. The remainder. The other thing you need to be aware of in this is because you're gathering a lot of tuff, specifically, because tuff is the block that mixes in with iron ore veins. You need to make sure you don't put down a load of tuff and then accidentally, like, jabate yourself into digging out some more blocks that shouldn't have been part of the vein to begin with. So I'm trying to find, like, I think I'll probably end up using cobbled deep slate more as the bridging block around here. Because some of this tuff ends up forming larger blobs inside of here, but I want to dig away a decent amount of it. And when I do, I usually find some more iron ore, but occasionally you'll end up digging out some blocks that it's pretty clear you've already placed yourself in an attempt to bridge around somewhere else. A fortune shovel. I'm actually okay with it because trading flint is good with villagers. And we can get infinite gravel bartering with piglins later, so I don't need to worry too much about the flint. Flint used to be my nemesis, but now gravel is renewable, so it's less of a problem. Back in the days when they introduced the concrete powder recipe and it needed gravel, I was like, okay, no fortune for shovels then. I wish you could just do more with flint. Like, I'd like there to be a block of flint or something, I don't know. I'm not sure what you'd do with it, but it would be kind of cool. How is gravel renewable? If you barter with piglins, you can give piglins gold and they will give you gravel. It's one of the things that makes gravel renewable in Skyblock, which means you can make things like infinite dirt, because you can combine gravel and dirt to make coarse dirt and then hoe it to turn it into regular dirt. Gravel is a block of flint. I mean, if we could craft flint back into gravel, that would be quite nice. I love finding full raw iron blocks in these as well. That's so satisfying. You're like, oh, there's just 9 iron for me. 164th of a beacon. Have I not died in this world yet? No, I have not. I am quite pleased with that, frankly, but mostly because dying is a bit of a pain, and I think in future we could end up doing an episode like Survival Guide Season 1 had What to Do When You Die. But so far I've been able to coast through this world with relatively few problems. 100 for that sauna pronunciation, thank you. I can't say I have like a regional accent or anything, but always good to know I'm on point. Yeah, somebody also asked me, like, in the comments of this latest video, now you've got all this iron, are we going to have an episode this week about beacons? I was like, you recognize that to do that, I've got to fight the Wither. And I don't think I'm necessarily ready to tell my subscribers and people who are new to this series, let's fight Minecraft's difficult optional boss. Like, I don't know if we're... I mean, in theory, I could fight the Wither, like, whenever. But I always honestly prefer to fight the dragon before I fight the Wither. It seems like the right sort of speed for progression of gameplay for me. And obviously the Bedrock players are going to be like, I never fight the Wither. But I also repeat the Every Way to Die in Minecraft episode, only if there's new ones. Because I feel like that episode is sort of unique in that you can watch it now and it's still fairly recent. Oh, there we go, we got some diamonds. This is what I was saying in the episode today about the other benefits of mining out huge iron veins, is that you end up with the diamond veins that are concealed in the world. So all of the ones that people are like, excuse me, more diamond ore is hidden, so you're not gonna find as much diamond if you go caving. And I'm like, yeah, but now you've got to dig out every block. Diamond ore has reduced air exposure, I think you'll find. And I'm like, yep. Which means it's harder for you to find the old-fashioned way. Did I find the other side music disc? I have found it in other worlds before, including in the Don't Die December server this time around, but didn't really get to do much with that after that because I died. But in this world I have not, no. We have not encountered a dungeon that has it, and I haven't been to a stronghold yet, so... Alright, raw iron blocks, there we go. And yeah, this is the problem. This is why I brought a chest with me before, and the reason that I wanted to go and find the other chest relatively quickly is that sooner or later we're going to run out of room for all of this tough and deep slate, and I want to save it because I would really like to build with tough at some stage. I didn't get to build with it a great deal on Empires. Because of the desert landscape not really having much room for it. But I think tough is a really fun block to build with as long as you're happy building stuff that's just made of full blocks. And I want to build like retaining walls out of it and stuff. Like, it really looks to me like a good block for an English country road dry stone wall kind of aesthetic, but obviously for the scale it's not perfect. But like a Hadrian's Wall kind of situation. Tough Hombre with the 12 months. Everyone already spamming the word nerd in the chat, but if you haven't already, make sure you spam the word nerd to thank Tough Hombre for that very generous 12-month resub. Thank you for the full year of support here on the channel. Welcome to the Nerd Herd. Are we going to have Choppin' Tuesdays from now on? I mean, I've never really not done Choppin' Tuesdays except when I'm playing other games. So, in theory, yes. Like, we're not always going to be just gathering resources. Like, later on, I kind of expand the definition of what chopping is, because Sometimes we've just got to do a lot of block placing, and at that point we're like chopping air, basically. But we're not always going to be gathering wood or mining or whatever. We're going to be resource gathering in other ways, working on farms that will help us gather more resources in other ways. We also had Stroopwaffle MC with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. And D-Lobster says, isn't gravel technically renewable due to gravity block dupers? I mean, you don't need that. You just need a piglin bartering setup. But those aren't, like, intentional renewability mechanics, so I don't really count it. Like, I don't count sand as renewable, and you can buy that from the Wandering Trader the intended way. It's just that you get 40 blocks of it at a time, and then there's no guarantee it shows up again. And yes, you can do the gravity block tube, whatever the heck you call it, the gravity block duper trick with those as well. I just I don't really like doing that, you know? Like, it's not like I have any problems with it in a survival world that's a single player world, because you can really do what you want, but like, I'm all about exploring the intended mechanics first, really. And relying on glitches like that is sometimes a necessary evil, but eventually you're going to end up with stuff like that getting patched, so it also kind of puts a lifespan on the video in terms of its longevity. I would much rather they just put, like, a decent way to get renewable sand into Minecraft. It did take until 117 to get renewable dirt farms. I mean, not really. I mean, farms in the automatic sense.
Well, that's just
maybe, but
right.
you could make dirt renewable from whenever coarse dirt was introduced. And when piglin bartering was added for gravel to be renewable, then dirt was technically more renewable from that stage. Got over 1,500 iron. The vein has still not been exhausted? No. Honestly, I don't know how many deep slate iron blocks we've mined. That might be an interesting comparison here. So we've only mined about 1,000 blocks of deep slate iron ore, and I don't think that's all of them from this vein, because in theory, with Fortune 3, we'd be getting about twice that, right? So we'd be getting about 2,000 iron. We got 1,500, roughly. And these veins can have, like, 2,000 or so blocks of ore in, so we have plenty of opportunity to get more iron. Why do I use a Silk Touch pickaxe? I don't. I'm using Fortune right now. I have a Silk Touch pickaxe on me because there's other stuff that I can use to... Like, I can get deep slate diamond ore that way, because honestly, you don't need diamonds. So I start getting hold of ore blocks for diamonds once I have a decent villager trading setup. And that way I can choose to either fortune the diamonds when I'm ready to use them, or I can just keep the ore blocks to, I don't know, maybe build with. I think if you break a block down into its components and you don't end up using those components, you're cheating yourself out of having a decent block to build with. And as we saw from using the iron ore to decorate the iron farm, I'm kind of into the idea of using all sorts of blocks for interesting decorative touches around the world. Not really seeing iron in either direction here. I think we might have ended up in one of those patches of tough. And I find that you've occasionally got iron around the outsides of these, but there are some areas where the vein kind of dries up a little bit. So I usually like to dig around the periphery of these. And then if I find an area where we just haven't encountered iron for the last 20 to 30 blocks, I try in a different direction instead. Alright, let me catch up on some stuff here. Hey Bill, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Keith Gar with the Tier 1. Thank you so much, both of you, for the brand new subs to the channel. Welcome to the Pixels. And Happy Crafter with the 20 months of Tier 1 support. Thank you so much for 20 months supporting the channel. Very much appreciated. Have I trimmed my beard? No, not recently. I do need to. It's getting a little bit out of hand. My metric for it is usually like, is it getting in my tea on a regular basis? Do I need to strain the tea through my mustache? At which point, yes, it's getting too long. That is very British, yes. Still a couple of blocks here and there, but I think most of this is done with. I get the sense that the huge iron veins are slightly, like, thinner than the huge copper veins, but that might just be my imagination. Just anecdotal. And they can generate in different ways, as far as I can tell, so... We'll need to go and repair this pickaxe at some stage. I don't have a dedicated auto smelter yet either, so that could be a project for later if we want to actually smelt all of this iron into something more craftable. So I have 2 monitors. I have 3 monitors. Can I explain the different cave sound meanings? They're all random, I'm pretty sure. Minecraft will play a cave sound when you are within a certain distance of a dark space. So you won't hear them as often if you've, like, torched all the caves in your area, but if they have different meanings, I don't know them off the top of my head. Alright, I think it's definitely time to go and look for that chest. And I did take the coordinates for that as well, so I could maybe just dig my way over to that if we need to. Right, that's not the way out. This is the way out. One of these ways. Alright, this is where we found the vein. Okay, cool. And this is the way we dug to it. This looks familiar to me. Yeah, this is all part of the same vein. Ah! Not here. Go back. Probably just washed away a couple of torches, but never mind. Up this way. Not in here. Nope. Okay. I put that torch in kind of a misleading location. We're not that way. We're not that way. And now I'm completely lost. I think I've just been here. It's the problem with my cave navigation system, is that once you lead yourself around in a circle, it becomes a problem. Let's reorient ourselves a little bit. Not down that way, presumably. No, we're too low. Is there lava around anything that I dug out the other day? Seems unlikely. Ah, yes. Now I'm in the right place. The geode is a very significant landmark. So this is where we dropped down from earlier. But this should lead back through to here. Alright, it's alright. No worries. Yes, there it is. Also got lost when you were mining huge iron vein. Yeah, there's a lot to mine out. it's intense. All right, so we can throw these in here. We got a little bit more diamond to add to the pile, and everything from this chest is stuff I want to take home. So I guess we'll throw all of this in here. We've got one block of deep slate from where I used silk touch by mistake. We've got a couple of deep slate blocks in there as well. And, alright, I think that's where we'll have to leave it. I guess we could break these, or condense these down into blocks of redstone, right? Save a little bit of space that way. Oh, perfect. Even better, we can fit 2 stacks in here. And that means we can fit another stack or so in there. Silk touch this. And completely forget the way out. Are there gold mines this huge as well? No, there aren't any huge veins of gold, but if you go to a Badlands biome, if you mine underneath like a mesa or something, then you will end up with a lot of gold from there, because gold is more common. It's about as common as iron in Badlands biomes. Slowly adding pillars to this until I have a staircase. That's how staircases work in real life, right? Okay, so once we get down here, once we get down to this, we basically need to turn around, go that way, and straight forward, and that leads us to the tough staircases. Okay. Trying to get myself oriented in a way that I will understand later, because this is basically the entrance to this ravine, and this ravine is what takes me back to the surface. Alman, thank you for the 6 months. Half a nerd, thank you for making the survival guide. It brings me a lot of joy and has taught me how to Minecraft. Well, I think you've taught yourself how to Minecraft, really. I can only show you the door. It's you who has to walk through it. There's my little diorite staircase. This way. Can leave that to despawn. And we need to go over here. You're probably asking, why don't I just set up a ladder? But I honestly enjoy traversing caves like this. It's fun. It's good practice. What are the coordinates I'm mining the iron? It's about negative... No, wait, it's not negative at all. It's about 250... negative 66, and then y negative 26 is roughly where it is. Still got all these poppies around from where I was farming the bees. Definitely good practice for the basalt deltas. Oh boy, is it. Yeah, so stone types, we have so much tough now that it's not going to fit in this chest. So I think we'll probably do a deep slate and tough overstock chest back here. Cool. And then throw down the ender chest so we can get the rest of those. Yeah, I like the idea of using that as a wall block somewhere. Let's also unload these. And I need to figure out where my, like, iron chest is going to go. I think I might move transport and put, like, iron above copper and gold. Because we're bound to get a lot of iron. I mean, we've already got a lot of iron. How do you implement renewable diamonds in Minecraft? So I was thinking of diamond shards that you get from smelting diamond armor / weapons. You could do that. Honestly, you basically have renewable diamonds in the form of getting all of your gear from villagers. Because outside of that, the only thing you need diamonds for are diamond blocks, and you can just go mining to get those. It's diamond blocks, jukeboxes, and enchanting tables are the only 3 things that are made of diamond that you cannot get from villagers.
Just
we'll move all of the transport stuff into redstone because we'll need some of this stuff for redstone later anyway. The horse armor and the cobwebs. We'll put the cobwebs in there because, frankly, they are redstone things at some point later. We might put horse armor in mob drops. Maybe a saddle as well. The flint can go in there too. This is all very organized. And this is now iron. I said I'll make a video on commands. I know, I say a lot of things. Frankly, I decided against the commands video, so I reserve the right to change my mind. Let's actually move some of this stuff down there as well. Ah, that one. What's MBT? It's a non-bungible token. It's basically a pyramid scheme. No, they're MBT is basically just how Minecraft stores data about specific blocks, like things that can have contents. Sorry, chat. Got political there for a second. Let's throw all of these into a raw block form. Okay, there we go. We've got a bit more space there. I hate it when my tokens are bungible. Laughing at the pyramid scheme joke? Yeah, I mean, we've all seen it. There's a little bit of stuff we can probably move down there. We've got glass in here for no apparent reason. A spruce boat. And this is the smite sword. Okay, cool. We can probably upgrade that sword, give it mending and stuff later so we can use it at the zombie spawner. But frankly, I don't intend to use the zombie spawner all that much. It's good for demonstration purposes, but probably won't use it much more than I did in that video. Glass can go in there. Okay, we're chopping our storage issues. And now we should be able to go back to the mines. Can anyone teach you the use of comparators? Comparators are better to learn by building stuff that involves them. Like, build a circuit that has a comparator in it to learn what it does, rather than, like, just telling you what it does. So I recommend, for a start, looking up item filter circuits. Those are a really good way of learning some of the functionality of comparators. Have I taken a wrong turn here? Because I had a route that I was talking about going down here, and then I've completely ignored it. Done my own thing. So we end up in this room, and I'm like, why and how? We need to go this way, really. Favorite circuit for comparators or item dispensers? Haven't built enough filters really to see if I like them or not. Yeah, I mean, definitely a very good use of it is the comparator clock, item dropper clock kind of thing. Yeah, those are essential. I don't have feather falling on these boots yet, so I'm a little bit worried about my MLG water bucket. Chances down here, which is why I'm not just dropping into this ravine. Where are we dropping, boys? So yeah, down here is where I need to go. Couple of alerts to catch up with then. Senor Squilliam, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Mugen Law with the 6 months, and Salient both with the 6. Thank you. Favorite mob if I had to pick one and why? It changes all the time, frankly. For a while it was pillagers, because they're just wacky dudes. Right now, honestly, it's bees, because I've just been working with bees, and I forget how much I love bees. I would honestly love to keep bees in real life if there wasn't the opposite of an opportunity, the unfortunate possibility of getting stung, which I know isn't a problem for experienced beekeepers, and half the time they just don't care. I'm not one of those people. I'm a complete wimp when it comes to pain, so not my favorite idea. Do I read my YouTube comments all that much? All the time, yes. Oh, it's a thunderstorm now. Well, I hope my iron farm's going to be okay. It should be, to be honest. The platform is high enough that I don't see lightning strikes actually doing anything to the villagers, but it'll be an important lesson for all of us if I'm wrong. Let's move the rest of the tuff up here. If you wear a suit, bees can't sting you? Yeah, but bees are resourceful. They get in places. That's loud, isn't it? My weather is on 3% and those are still incredibly loud. Do they count as weather or do they count as like block sounds? Because lightning is more of like an entity or something. Oh, I do have a bed on me, that's right. I could get rid of it now. How do I read YouTube comments and manage my time? Poorly. In both cases. Now, honestly, I read YouTube comments when I can, but I don't get to every single comment because I wouldn't have the time to read and respond to all of them, which is a good problem to have. But yeah, I don't really have the time. But there's definitely some people who are asking legit questions about what happened in the episode, or like, hello. Yeah, there are people who have genuine questions that I'm always pretty happy to answer. Kind of wish the thunder sound didn't play when you were underground, but I think that's just how the sound was made. Yeah, it's a global sound, and it's also kind of useful in a way, because then you can find out what the weather's like on the surface. I can see that they're still villagers, but I just want to zoom in, make sure. Yes, people who notice the lower shield. That's the other types of comments I get. I think I'll probably put the scaffolding in there for now and completely lose track of where it is, probably. Okay. Is this starting to reach stage 3 yet? No, not quite. We've still got a bit of stuff back there that's what's it called now? Exposed? It's copper, exposed, weathered, oxidized. Does the guy who noticed I'm using lower shield stop talking about it every episode? I think so. On the Iron Farm episode, it was a bunch of people who told me that I said zombie when I meant to say Iron Golem at one point, and while they are correct, and for the purposes of a tutorial, I should probably watch what I'm saying a little bit more closely. There's not a whole lot I can do about that once I reach the edit stage. It's like the fact that I ended up putting the flower pot clip in right at the end of the video, because I realized at that point that I should have just been telling people to put a flower pot there the entire time, but I can't really go back and change all of that stuff from the video. I keep going back down here, it's the wrong way. It just looks like such an inviting tunnel, you know? I think we're this way instead, aren't we? Oh no, big old patch of andesite, and then we're back in the stone layers, so what is this? You noticed it and ignored it? Yeah, I think a lot of people do, because they understand what I'm trying to say. They just recognize that I'm kind of a sloppy orator sometimes when it comes to giving people a tutorial. Sometimes it's early in the morning, sometimes my concentration just isn't there, and after a while I just like lose focus a little bit. I'm talking about the same 3 mobs over and over again, so I'm saying zombie, iron golem, and villager like so often that after a while my brain just substitutes one in, they become interchangeable. So, you know, it happens, right? Sorry, I'm taking my socks off because my feet are too warm. Understandable for someone who uploads every day. Well, almost every day. And there's also people who ask me like why I don't upload on weekends, and I'm like, do you want me to just keel over, or like it's I need a break. And sooner or later this series is going to get to the point where I can't make an episode every day because the projects will get too big. And that's always a tough thing to balance. No pun intended, because we're working around a lot of tough here. That's always, yeah, a difficult thing when you're a content creator and you've relied on having this upload schedule for the longest time. And frankly, the upload schedule is one of the things that keeps me motivated at this point, because if I didn't make a video every day of the week, I would be like, well, I can take today off. I can take it a little slowly. That project can use another day, and then 2 weeks go past and I haven't made a video. It keeps me focused. But then sooner or later, it's just not going to be feasible anymore. Either that, or I have to break a project up into like 20 individual videos, and people are like, all right, we get it. All right, here's more of our vein, so we'll just pick up where we left off with Silk Touch, apparently. See you later, Nixcraft. Have a good one. Thank you again for the bits. What am I going to do in 119? Make videos about all the stuff. Like, I don't have any plans for 119 yet, because a lot of the snapshots and everything aren't out for Java. There's a lot of stuff in the Bedrock betas right now, which is pretty cool. But we'll do tutorials about frogs and whatnot. With regards to the world, I'm keeping this world for as long as possible. So if we end up with a situation where terrain changes again so dramatically that it feels like my entire series becomes outdated, which is really what happened with the Season 1 worlds. When they announced the Caves and Cliffs update, I was like, well, all of my early game caving tutorials are now vastly redundant. Or unnecessary, because not unnecessary, even just like outdated, because the caves have an additional 64 blocks of depth to them that I will say nothing about until episode 400 of this series, if I continue the series the way that I am. And then of course they delayed that 6 months, but I'd already decided at that point that I was going to end the series, so I figured I'd stick to my guns on that. But yeah, 119 videos are going to be in this world, and for the foreseeable future, I will make videos for this world until such time as it feels like we are in need of a fresh approach. Like, if something changes significantly about the early game, if the series gets so long that nobody is coming in, like, new anymore, and it feels like the kind of thing where we need a fresh start, then we can, but I don't expect that'll be for a couple of years now. Because there's so much we can do in this game. Will I try to kill the Ender Dragon later? Later when? It's really what I want to know. Like, are you talking later on this stream? No. Later in the series? Almost certainly. We need to kill the Ender Dragon to do a lot of different stuff in Minecraft. So yes, the plan is at some point to kill the Ender Dragon. I don't know when that will be. Just scheduled orientation for work. Nice one. Hope that all goes well for you. Always nerve-wracking starting a new job, but do the best you can. I'm sure you'll be up to speed in no time. Before episode 50? Good question. I think at this point we're doing okay. We haven't explored too much of the Nether yet. A lot of people have been asking me if I'm going to get like netherite armor and stuff before I fight the Ender Dragon, and I'm not going to get it explicitly for the Ender Dragon fight. But I am thinking that netherite makes sense to acquire before the dragon just because it's available before the dragon fight is. Even if you haven't found a nether fortress, you can still go out and get netherite armor, you know what I mean? And it also leads into stuff like, you know, do we go and explore piglin bastions at that stage? Do piglin bastions feel like a more difficult fight than the Ender Dragon? That looks like an iron vein to you. It is an iron vein. Well spotted. This part here, definitely an iron vein. This is the one that we've been looking at for the last little while. I'm just trying to clear out some of the caves over here so we don't get skeletons walking up on me when I'm trying to mine stuff. But yeah, there's some areas around here that had some iron in that we were digging out earlier, so we are moseying over to this. Really wanted to know how I get my ideas for mega bases or even just my base in general. There's a variety of ways. It comes down to what's been inspiring me lately, what I feel like I haven't done in the game yet that I feel like I could do. Like Pixandria was that, basically. When I should say is, because it's not gone yet. When we were all picking biomes for empires, because the idea was that we were all going to stick to a specific biome and have a base with a specific resource that we specialized in. In my case, it was the desert and copper, and I said I'd never built in a desert before, and nobody else was necessarily choosing deserts as the place they wanted to build, so I said, yeah, sure, I'll take the desert, and maybe if people want sand and glass and that kind of stuff, they can come to me, but I want to specialize in copper. And so the next step really from there was to look up pictures of like concept art of desert houses from like fantasy illustrators and like Star Wars stuff and Age of Empires. Just gathering a bunch of sort of research material, effectively. Because there are some people who, I don't know quite what their process is, but there are people who make building look completely effortless. And I think I'm a decent builder, but I'm still not the kind of person who can whip up real-world parallel architecture in the same way that, say, like, Joel Smallish Beans and the style that he builds in Empires. Like, that stuff looks very, very inspired by, like, Indian architecture. There's a lot of domes and kind of those onion-shaped domes to it. And there's so much color in it as well. There's, like, you know, a lot of very kind of intense colors. And I don't know where he comes up with that. I don't know, like, what his process is for designing stuff like that, but I can't just pull that out of thin air. Like, I need to have a lot of preparation and test builds and research, and like, even then I doubt I'd do as good a job, but his base is so creative. And the same goes for terraforming as well. Like, if you're looking at making mountains and stuff, honestly, just reference material goes so far to determining the way things should look. After a while, you start to build up a mental library of, like, stuff that you can rely on. If you want to rebuild it in future, you kind of know what the vibe is, and you can maybe make it even better from there, but it always starts with research and planning. I'm planning to expand my base later in the series. In Survival Guide, the central base, the base that's like at spawn, this kind of like Riverlands area, is really just going to be a bunch of the stuff that it makes sense to build near spawn, a bunch of kind of early explanations of some of these mechanics, a few farms, but the kind of small stuff that we would probably just benefit from having from the beginning of the world. And then later on, we're going to go out to different biomes and we're going to plan bases in different biomes, different build styles we can explore. We'll do like a modern build in a old growth spruce taiga or pine taiga, whatever it's called. Like, I really like the idea of doing one of those kind of like $10 million cabin retreats in like a big pine forest somewhere, you know? Like the kind of thing. I don't know if you guys have seen Ex Machina, the Donald Gleason, Oscar Isaac movie about artificial intelligence with, is it Alicia Vikander who's like the lead in that? Basically. Or not quite the lead, but the female lead. Because I feel like Donald Gleason is like the main character. Yeah, like the house in that, because it's out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, it's like this reclusive kind of tech genius billionaire dude lives there. And not necessarily a lifestyle that appeals to me, but a build style that appeals to me. Like a compound, effectively, but maybe a little bit more accessible than that. And also, it's just one build. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like modern houses, you can't build an entire community of them. You can build contemporary house communities, like suburbs, you know, if you think of those as, like, modern in the sense that they are contemporary, they're current, then you can build communities like that. But I feel like if every house is, like, one of those kind of modern Frank Lloyd Wright kind of houses, then it doesn't feel like a cohesive town, because there aren't many places where every house is like that. Like, I don't know what it's like in, I don't know, Beverly Hills or wherever, where, like, all of the houses are mansions, but you can't really have, like, a mansion district in the same sense. What am I working on now? Today we are going to mine out this huge iron vein a little bit more, because I'm curious to see if we can mine out the remainder of it in between episodes here. This is the same vein still that I was mining out in today's episode. I mined for an hour and then stopped. And there is still iron coming out of this every which way that we turn. And gold as well, sometimes. We've even found some diamond ore while we've been mining, so it's an embarrassment of riches. I recreated the world in the same seed and explored in creative. No, I have not. I am kind of making it my policy not to do that. At least for the first, I don't know, maybe year or more of this world. I want to explore stuff very organically. I still do not know whether it's a desert or a swamp, or there's several other biomes. I don't know where a Badlands is. And I say this a lot when this kind of stuff comes up. If you're playing in this world, or if you load up this world seed, please do not tell me where any of that stuff is. I mean that sincerely. I would like to find all of this stuff on my own. And people like to leave you comments thinking that they're helping when they're like, oh, hey, there's actually a stronghold at this coordinate. And, like, even as a joke in Twitch chat, don't leave that stuff because the moderators will probably time you out. And yeah, I prefer not to know about that stuff ahead of time because, frankly, exploration is one of the fun parts of this game that you don't always get to experience a whole lot when you have a long-term world, because to explore you just have to go further and further and further away, you know? So I think it's the kind of thing that I want to do more on-camera journeys to find that stuff. And it increasingly becomes about what exploration experiences we can get out of the game in the latter stages. I also left my ender chest up there in the storage room, so we'll probably need to return to the surface a little sooner than I planned. But that's fine, because we'll need to repair the pickaxe at that stage as well. Is this more iron vein or no? Doesn't seem like it. Further around here it is. Because there are still just these blobs of tuff in the world. Do I plan on going to a woodland mansion? Almost certainly. If there is something in this game, I want to have it in the series. If it's like default Minecraft features, you know? There's definitely some stuff that I won't be able to do because of the scale of certain projects not really making sense for single player. Like, I'm not like a Psycraft level player all on my own. But, the basic stuff that's like, this is a feature of the game, like a woodland mansion. Absolutely, yes. I'll probably end up buying one of the Woodland Explorer maps from the cartographer to find it, because I haven't seen any dark oak forests that have them around our spawn area, and in Java Edition they're usually a few thousand blocks out at least. Whenever I mention that they're really far away, everyone immediately sends me screenshots from the PlayStation version of the game where they can basically be at spawn. But unfortunately on regular old Java Edition for PC, you don't tend to find them that easily. How am I finding this much iron? So there are huge veins of iron in the world now. As of 1.18, they added veins of iron that generate inside these patches of tuff below Y0. So when you go into the levels of the world that have deep slate in, you mine out an area with tuff and iron ore in it, and if it's like little kind of blobs of iron ore, like 1s and 2s, just kind of streaking through the tuff patch, then that's a huge iron vein. And the more tuff you dig out, the more iron ore you will uncover, and you just end up with a bunch of the stuff. The same goes for copper and granite. If you find copper and granite mixed together, and it's like a couple of blocks of tuff like this, and then there's like, we'll use the raw iron blocks as an example, right? There's like a couple of things like that, and then there's maybe one here. You see a patch that's like this, and you can even uncover these full blocks of raw iron inside the iron vein. That's how you know for certain that you found one. But if you start mining the tuff and you just find more and more iron, that's what you've run into. And they can travel for, you know, hundreds of blocks, basically. Like, you can get 2,000 raw iron blocks out of one easily. Do I have any quick tips for woodland mansions? Yes. Shoot all of the enemies from a distance. Get an infinity bow or a bow that you're comfortable with. Lots of stacks of arrows and a mending bow if you want. And put flame on the bow. Put power 5 on the bow. Go in and shoot everything from a distance. Because Vindicators have melee attacks, and Evokers end up summoning Vexes if you get close enough to them, or if they aggro on you, which is pretty much going to happen once you shoot them with a bow. But just a couple of quick arrows will deal with an Evoker pretty fast. And there isn't much else to worry about that isn't like a normal mob threat, but you ideally want to keep them at a distance. So a punch bow will deal with Vindicators pretty easily. But if you've done a raid, you're basically fighting the same mobs that you'll find in a woodland mansion. They're not that much different. Remember that you can leave and come back if you need to as well. The mansion is still going to be there. Am I going to trade all this iron for diamond armor and tools? No, I'm going to save it and build with raw iron blocks, probably. I already have diamond armor and tools. Am I going to do a creeper farm in the survival guide? Almost certainly. We might end up doing a general mob farm first, like a dark platform mob farm. We are digging back into an area we've already been, which makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we're probably going to do one of those platform mob farms at some stage, but that will lead into specializing that into being a creeper farm. Just with trapdoors, you know? I think this point here was roughly where I'd got to when I stopped the timer for the episode. Like when it got to like an hour has gone by. And lo and behold, we have some diamonds. Personally feel taking on bastions a more difficult task than killing the Ender Dragon or the Wither. Any tips? Pillar up 3 blocks and pour lava on the piglin brutes. And then the rest of the piglins won't bother you. You trick the game's mobs into thinking that the player has not been responsible for killing the piglin brute, and then none of the rest of the piglins will aggro on you. And honestly, I rely on that approach, because piglin aggro is a bit of a pain. They've got ranged weapons and melee attacks, so they're quite dangerous. But getting rid of the brutes is the main thing. And then honestly, as long as the piglins don't see you opening a chest and you don't break the chest or any of the other blocks, then you're fine to raid the chests in the bastions. So if you hide yourself behind a block and open the chest, if you like get into the area with a chest, wall it off, you're usually fine to just loot whatever you want out of there. If you break the chests, then that's on you, you know? Like, I can't be responsible for what happens at that stage, but frankly, just box yourself in and you're fine. You can also, if there's a, if there isn't a block of, gilded blackstone underneath it, you can put a hopper underneath the chest and it will drain out all the contents, and they won't mind if you open a hopper to look at all of the stuff in it. But sometimes now the game will generate gilded blackstone underneath those chests. So one of the things you can do for that is turn it into a double chest and break the block underneath the block beside it, if it's not already a double chest. There's a couple of neat tricks like that, but really the main problem when you raid a bastion is piglin brutes, and making sure that the rest of the piglins don't aggro on you. Frankly, piglin brutes are pretty easy to deal with because they're melee attackers and they don't really have any countermeasures for you pillaring up a couple of blocks or putting them in a boat or anything like that. Any of the standard strategies for dealing with melee attackers. I think we'll probably throw out the gunpowder for now. I'll probably regret that later, but again, we'll build a mob farm. Cool. Alright, I'm probably going to head back to the surface, I think, just because my inventory is currently clogged. And I want to go back and find the point in the cave where we actually found the iron vein to begin with, because I've not seen it this entire time. And I think it's part of the same vein just because the coordinates are relatively similar, but I do not know where that was. We basically saw it in the wall of another cave. And it was a large open space, not anything like this. So I'm curious to find my way back to that. And now I'm getting lost again. that way. We up here? No. Always fun just swinging around a couple of these corners and seeing what's up. I've looked at that corner several times as well. This isn't the right way. Maybe this is. Yeah, there we go. What's the best level for finding diamonds in 118? Depends who you ask. I mean, the best level if you're just branch mining is categorically -58, but like, I honestly think there are better ways of getting diamonds. That's just me. Because you're still just going to have to mine a ton of deep slate regardless. And there are things I would rather be doing. But if you're into just like mindlessly mining to get what you want, then you can probably dig around on -58. Just as close to bedrock as possible, really. Do I prefer caving for diamonds? I do. I prefer caving for diamonds, and right now, when we found this raw iron vein, we're digging around the outside of that, and we find... Like, so far we found 6 blocks of diamond ore. We haven't been looking for it. It's just cool when it shows up, you know? But frankly, like, the reduced air exposure thing just means that you have to spend a lot longer digging around to search for it. Like, surface caving, I think, is just more fun. You cover more ground that way, you look at more exposed blocks, and I think that evens out the chances of you finding something like diamond ore, just naturally. Can I provide a world download for my hardcore world? Nah. There's nothing built there. It'd just be boring. There's an enderman around here somewhere. Hello. Stealing from my storage again. Put that in there. We'll actually start adding the redstone blocks to this. There we go. Got a bit of a stash going on now. Steal my grass, will you? Oh, he's actually stuck there. Brilliant. New Enderman killing strat. Trap them on the stairs. Thanks for the grass block, though. Old Abs Milliard, thank you so much for gifting a sub, and says, just a thanks for the guide. Hey, I'm glad you like it. Gandarian, thank you for the 2 months. Anchorham for the 17 asks, have you found a diamond ore vein? Yeah, that's very funny. You're a very funny man. Do I prefer keeping auto jump on? Nope. Turn it off basically as soon as I start up a new instance, because frankly I find auto jump a little too distracting. Like, I jump around a lot manually anyway because it's ever so slightly faster moving that way, and I have places to be. But also, I find that you end up running up to a block. You lose your sprint when you jump like that, because it kind of runs you up to a block and then you jump. And it tries to do it a bit more organically, but I find that it gets a little distracting. We'll probably hop over to one of the XP farms and repair this. I might just go trade with villagers, because we have some stuff to trade now. Use auto jump because you're used to it from Bedrock. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not gonna preach one way or the other what you should do. It's just not for me, you know? Let's trade some of the rotten flesh, because we may as well. Good cleric trades. Auto jump can end up killing you. I mean, a lot of things can end up killing you. Let's get the boots. I've started just stashing those in a chest next to the portal. It makes a lot of sense to me. Have I commented on Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard? I have not. And I don't see that I need to, especially. It'd be cool if you make a video about the uses of ender pearls like stasis chambers and getting to the end. Well, honestly, those are two very different subjects that I would approach in different ways. In different videos, especially, because ender pearl stasis chambers are an interesting combination of mechanics that aren't necessarily intended by Mojang, but are used heavily by players. I mean, not heavily, even though they're used, like, relatively infrequently, but they're very, very useful when you want to use them. The end is, like, one of the reasons for ender pearls to exist. So I feel like we would probably cover the end long before we cover ender pearl stasis chambers. Hey, bud. Thanks for the XP, man. Could probably move some of this stuff back home as well at some stage. What would I consider to be the phase of the game I'd rather be in? Early game grind for resources and small-scale builds, all the way to end game with massive resource farms and larger builds. I think comfortably early end game for me. Alright, we've already done that one too much. I've got to think what else we can buy here as well, because there's some good trades we can get just by... we can trade to them, but we can also trade from them. This flint trade isn't great. Who's got the best flint trade? One of you guys is trading flint and was zombified at one point. I feel like this weaponsmith wasn't even zombified. Is it you? No, it's not you. There's somebody who has a decent flint trade. Not Butcher. Oh, Fletcher. It's probably him. There we go, that's halfway done to repairing. You hear a child? I mean, there were more beds in this village than there needed to be anyway, because I keep putting down beds so that I can sleep. But I don't think any of the other villagers have died. I don't see anyone who's missing. Unless the leather worker drowned in his own cauldron, which can happen. But he still seems to be here too, so... This is such an inconvenient set of trades. Like, who has a rabbit farm? Who has that many turtle scutes? Alright, what can we buy? We need glass from the librarians, because they don't have a whole lot of that right now. So these two. And then our fortune pickaxe is almost repaired. This guy's now an expert, so he'll trade us name tags and clocks. Let's get some more glass while we can. Perfect. With the bundles, rabbit farms will become useful. Yeah, when we get in bundles, though. Not in the wild update. Not in this update. Not going to see those for a while, I think. We'll leave some string over here for future trades. And I don't have mending on either of these tools yet, so we can probably enchant those later. Does slime spawn regardless of light levels? Underground, yes. In swamps, no. Swamps and underground slimes are different spawning conditions. Not in the wild update? Nope, we're not getting bundles or goat horns in the wild update. They are delayed until an indefinite point in the future. We can still, of course, you know, data pack the crafting recipe into the game. But if it's not on vanilla, then I'm not going to use it in the survival guide, because I think it is not the kind of thing I want to do, to start, like, putting in obscured features. Because then I may as well just give myself skulk sensors now, you know? Probably delayed until I can get parity for them. I'm sure that's what it is. Never felt so betrayed than when you said I could make bundles in the snapshot. I'm sorry, Boz. I thought the recipe was still there. They'd literally only just taken it out of the experimental snapshots. So I was kind of heartbroken by that. I was an advocate for bundles from the beginning. Like, I have a video that's like, here's why you're wrong about bundles, which is me preaching about how bundles are actually a good thing. When everyone was like, oh, they're not shulker boxes that I can make for 5 rabbit hide and a piece of string. I'm like, that's not what they're meant to be, guys. That was a lot of people's reaction to bundles, and you gotta read between the lines a little bit when people are like, oh hey, a new storage thing is here. People are like, oh, this will solve all my problems. What are bundles? Bundles are an organizational tool that they decided to add, or they announced in the announcement about the Caves and Cliffs update, when the Caves and Cliffs update was still going to be one update, and it was all going to be in Minecraft 1.17. Bundles effectively allow you to stack 64 different single items in a single inventory space. So, like, if you have a couple of flowers, some seeds, a pumpkin or two, like anything that can stack in your inventory, like maybe a little bit of gunpowder, bones, string, sugarcane, all of the mob drops and stuff that you're collecting as you start up a world for the first time, for example, you can stash all of that stuff in a single bundle, and it can carry a maximum of 1 stack size, so it's like 64 items, but it can be 64 completely different items. And what people wanted was an expansion to inventory. But what they need is a bundle. Honestly, I think bundles are really good for a couple of reasons. Like, if you have one in every shulker box you have, then they can create more space and you can use the storage space more efficiently, because I could put in, for example, all of the different rail types that I only have like 3 or 4 of, but are necessary for me to do redstone stuff later. Like, those could all take up 1 inventory space instead of 3 or 4. All the stuff like that. I think that the main problem with bundles is that they still don't provide any way of clearing up your inventory from unstackable items, which are still a pretty major source of clutter. So tools, enchanted books, beds, buckets of water, that kind of stuff, it can't all go in the same bundle. But that's sort of not the point of them at the same time, and people are looking for these things to try and solve other problems that can be solved in different ways. The bundle is just one potential solution to many problems. But the stack sizes hold up, right? So a bucket is basically worth 4 items in a stack of 64. So buckets only stack to 16. So if you put a bundle in a bucket, it would already be like 4 items worth of full. If you put a bucket in a bundle, not a bundle in a bucket. But you know what I mean. What you miss is stackable potions? Yeah, that's a thing from the combat snapshots, isn't it? So that might be back at some stage, but again, don't really know when. Alright, we're looking for coal on the way back down as well, but I really want to find where I initially discovered this ore vein, which was at 117, -26, -60. Because we still haven't found that point in this cave, and I'm very confused. Gonna move those up there so I can see where they are. How to become so good at building? Play the game for 7 years and enjoy building. Learn stuff from watching other people all the time, and work with reference material. And that's, you know, that's a start. Earlier when I was recording the video about the bees, there were 2 pillagers in my animal pen. I found that really funny. I was like, you have literally put yourself in here with the cows and the sheep. Good job. So 117. We need to keep going that way. But what I started doing was digging towards the coordinates where I thought this was. And then I got sidetracked by the fact that I'd found the iron vein somewhere else in this cave. But this time I want to make a beeline for it. I think maybe we'd gone through here. And then what do we need to do? We need to hang a left. Love the style of the new video. Oh, the comparison between the iron vein and the iron farm. I like doing that video. Somebody suggested, and it hadn't even occurred to me that we could do this at some stage, but somebody suggested doing a comparison of the output between a zombie pigman gold farm and just mining for gold in a mesa. And I was like, that's a really good idea. Wish I had thought of that. Okay, so if we go this way, this is not the iron vein, this is just blobs of iron. Or what? But I think if we drop down here, go this way, that might be part of the vein. That isn't. That is. So that was actually relatively painless to find as long as I knew where the heck I was going. Fortune. Let's do this. So this is the iron vein that I was looking for in today's video when I went to find the iron vein, because there's a section of it there. There's a section of it there. It's probably over here a little bit as well. I think this is basically the start of the iron vein. How limited do I find this kind of activity without shulker boxes? I've already had to do multiple trips back and forth to my storage room. I've forgotten my ender chest again. But I think it's an interesting exercise in, like, what materials do you want to keep? And frankly, I would just end up with full shulker boxes of deep slate and tough anyways, so I honestly don't mind taking a couple of trips back and forth at this stage. This is also very, very close to my house. And the fact that you can condense iron ore down into raw ore blocks helps tremendously, because you know all of the valuable stuff that's in your inventory. You can keep it very separate from the stuff that is less valuable to you at the time. And that allows you to prioritize what's in your inventory. It's like the inventory minigame of Minecraft, really. And of course, there's skeletons coming at me now. Yeah, I think not. I think not, buddy. I think not, buddy. Light this up so you guys can see it. And we'll dig horizontally along to this. Am I going to make a base in one of the massive caves? Yeah, if you watch the episode where it's not the zombifying and curing the villagers one, it's the one where we are just trading with every profession, and I go and get more iron from the surrounding landscape. The Master Trades episode. And I went to a nearby cave to get iron, and I ended up finding like a dripstone cave. I want to go and build a base there, because that looked incredible. And it's also relatively close to the village, so I could keep trading for stuff from them if I need it. But I'm not sure what I want to build in one of those yet, so we'll see. I think it could be cool to turn it into like a modern feeling mine, almost, but we'd have to see, really. You think I missed a diamond? I think you probably saw glow lichen, but either way, I'm not really looking for diamonds right now. If we stumble upon them while I'm mining like this, then it's fine, but I already have like 29 silk touch diamond ore because I don't really need diamonds right now. Is this for a video to show how much iron is in a vein? No, we'll probably do one of those at some stage, but that's going to take a while. This is really just so that I can get more of the iron from this vein and understand for myself what this activity feels like. And for something fun to do on stream. It was a diamond. Alright then. I'll go back to where I was. And you can tell me where the diamond is, yeah? We'll do a little bit of, like, Twitch chat plays Minecraft. Alright. You're standing on a bridge. Where am I looking? In the cave. Which cave? It's back near the beginning of the iron vein. Like over here? Oh, there is a diamond there. You're right. Congrats, chat. You found one. Just one, though. Chat was right, I know. You know what? How do I do this from here? Can I do this from here? Let me see. Give me 2 seconds. There you go, chat. Congrats on being right. The one time Twitch chat has told me there was a diamond and there was actually a diamond. I'm like, yeah, we can celebrate this win together. So everyone who just got gifted a sub in chat, congratulations. These diamond hunters and their keen eyes. Such a rare occurrence for chat to be right. That is a rare occurrence. It's worth 10 points. Old achievement hunter jokes. Well, speaking of Achievement Hunter, I've been watching Alfredo playing God of War for the first time. He's the one that I was like... He's playing this for the first time. I must watch this. Yo, Barry Chunk, thank you for matching my 10 subs. Gifting those 10 out to the community. Really appreciate it. See, chat, it pays to be generous. How can you make your creeper farm that you're using as an XP farm more efficient? I don't know. Hey, Alfredo, aka the current competent one? I know, right? Depends what they're playing, of course. But, yeah, no, I enjoy Alfredo a great deal. Seems like a good dude. He's very funny. Watching him play God of War is great. And you know how sometimes people will play games and they don't pick up on what you think of as telegraphs, basically. Like, when an enemy is about to do their strong attack, the game has some kind of graphic thing on screen to indicate, okay, this enemy is charging up now, right? There's a basic example, but you get the idea. Like, sometimes it takes people ages to figure out what those are, but if you've played enough video games, you're almost kind of, like, conditioned to watch for that stuff, and you don't necessarily call it out and be, like, mechanical about it, like, oh, there's that enemy's telegraph, but you kind of get the general idea. God of War is full of those, but they're all explained in very subtle ways, and the game tries to, like, nudge you in the right direction, like when you can't use your axe on the cold enemies or it doesn't do as much damage, so you switch to your fists and you just punch them. Like, watching Alfredo figure that out basically almost like instinctively, was very rewarding after seeing people struggle with the differences in enemies in that game for a couple of different playthroughs, which I still watched because I like watching that game, but still. Ladies Arsonist, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub, and our big cultist with the 15 months as well. Thank you both so much for the generosity. Appreciate you subscribing over here. Been watching Grim play the new one. They've got a boy counter for it. Oh, amazing. I need to watch Grim's playthrough then. Because, yeah, the new God of War, I guess, is just everybody being able to play it on PC, but that was the 2018 PlayStation game. And God of War Ragnarok is out soon, so there's going to be a lot more boy. I've still never played the game myself, but I don't need to because I just enjoy watching people play it. I've seen the story about 4 or 5 times, and it's just so well told. How do you know it's a vein of iron and not random ore around? Because you only find, like, little streaks of 1 or 2 iron ore. Like this, for example. Like right here. There's like one there, there's a couple at a diagonal. And then you just keep mining and you find more and more and more of it. The real telling sign is when you find a full raw iron block. Because that way, those only generate in these massive iron veins. The single shot for God of War is brilliant. I know, yeah, it's great, but like, I feel like that is just one of the good decisions they made, and there are so many other good decisions in that game. My bow aim is really good. It's alright. I do a lot of ranged combat in this game. I like keeping enemies at a distance. A little bit more iron here, but that's not part of the vein. Because these blobs occur in, like, larger quantities, basically, right? You end up with iron occasionally generating in 1s and 2s, just out in a cave like this. But if there's tuff around and it generates like that, then there's a chance that's part of a vein. I miss the redstone. I'm not here for every resource. I'm mostly here for the iron vein. Like, there's lapis there, there's redstone down there, there's bits and pieces of gold elsewhere. I'm just looking for the iron specifically here. So that down there is probably part of the same vein. This definitely is. This is, I think, probably the best visible example of what I mean by this is how you can tell it's a huge iron vein. There's like a streak of iron there, a streak there, a streak there. The tuff is kind of mixed in with deep slate instead of just being like a massive blob like this is. And if you can see a little bit of iron on the surface. Yeah, like here as well. Like it's a couple of blocks mixed in. But then this clearly takes over with a larger blob of tuff here, so you have to start digging around the bits where it trails off into the deep slate to really find the iron ore after that. Is lapis renewable? Yes, you can buy it from clerics for emeralds. So yes. Frankly, unless you're using a bunch of it for blue dye or you're building with the blocks, you really don't need that much lapis. But it is renewable. See, this doesn't feel like part of the vein to me. This just feels like the edge of a tough blob. This, though. Once we start digging in here, we'll find even more iron is just concealed behind the tuff. Grab a bit of the redstone as well. how's everyone adjusting to mining deep slate in terms of like mining speed? Because I think that was a lot of people's kind of sticking point with deep slate, was that it was slow to mine. And it still feels that way, but now I have an efficiency pickaxe and I'm used to mining in these levels. I sort of don't notice it that much. I think when it comes to beacons and clearing out a large layer of the stone, that's going to feel very different to doing this with deep slate. And I'm going to get a ton of questions on the YouTube videos at that time of people being like, is there a way of doing this with deep slate? And I'll be like, no. No, there is not. Cue every Minecraft player being sad about that fact. Pointless to mine in deep slate now to me. I'd rather just trade. Fair enough. Like, I'm not going to argue with that. There's no real need to mine in deep slate once you've got enough diamonds. Unless you want to do stuff like this. Unless you want, like, wild amounts of iron or specifically ore blocks. I think I'm probably going to continue mining because I like collecting ore blocks. Like, I quite enjoy silk touching stuff when I've got enough of the actual resource. Hour and a half into the stream, I'm still drinking the same cup of tea. Hey Nico, thank you so much for the 10 months. I'm glad you've been enjoying the new Survival Guide episodes. Used Silk Touch on Deep Slate the first time it came into the game. Learned the hard way that it's the wrong way to Deep Slate. Yeah, it's unfortunate. There are a few people... we had a conversation about this. The conversation is actually sort of ongoing, I think, as well, on the Spawn Chunks podcast, which is my weekly Minecraft podcast I do with my buddy Joel. And Joel is considering putting in a data pack that adds crafting recipes for all of the Deep Slate stuff for just regular Deep Slate, because he's silk touched a bunch of it now and he doesn't want to mine it all again, which is fair. I think what you could do is create like some sort of Deep Slate blast chamber if you want it all to be cobbled Deep Slate. I think it'd be a kind of fun redstone contraption for, like, if you want to go mining with silk touch, later on you create something like one of those cobblestone farms or concrete converters or something where it pushes all the blocks with precise timings. And blows it all up while it's really soft. Start converting all of those. There we go. Like a concrete maker for cobbled Deep Slate. Basically, yes. Except without the need to convert the concrete on contact with the water. What's the podcast name again? The Spawn Chunks. Like the area of Minecraft. Yeah, we just put out our 176th episode yesterday. We've been doing it since the update Aquatics, so it's like a 4-year-old show at this point, which is pretty wild. Does exploded Deep Slate turn into cobbled? Yes. Basically, if you break it with a pickaxe, like an ordinary pickaxe, and it turns into cobbled Deep Slate, then that's the same thing that will happen to TNT. TNT does not do silk touch. I think that's what a couple of people have added in, like, modded before, is like a way for TNT to get you stone instead of cobblestone or whatever. Be able to have silk touch TNT.
That's just prime.
Nelly, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime. Even though you're a Bedrock player, the videos make your day much easier. Well, I'm glad. Sorry about the iron farm video. Because I know that was the bane of a lot of Bedrock players' existence. But I did link Silent Whisperer's iron farm in the video description. There's apparently a couple of other really good iron farm designs out there, so... Alright, chat, you don't get free subs for this one. Because I've seen this one as well. That'd be a fun thing to do. To be like ABBA caving with chat. Where, like, we go caving and... I don't know. Some sort of condition whereby, depending on how many diamond ores we get, I gift that many subs at the end of the stream or something. We could do something like that in future. That'd be fun. If it was like a subathon thing, maybe, but I don't really do the subathon deal, because I don't want to stream for more than a couple of hours in a day. Too much other stuff to do, man. Imagine if I did a subathon, like one of those uncapped subathon things that some Twitch streamers do. You just wouldn't see survival guide videos for like a week. Is the world from Season 1 finished / completed? Nope. Which is why you haven't seen a world download yet. I've not really had a great deal of time to work on it, I'm afraid. Too much other stuff to get done. Wow, there are so many full blocks of raw iron in this one little stretch of this ore vein. That's great. Like, where are we at right now? We're at pretty low coordinates, too. I wonder if the coordinates, like, as you get lower down in the world and that kind of stuff, if that has any impact on this or no. I wouldn't assume so, but it'd be a kind of neat feature if they did, right? I guess we'll turn this to obsidian, maybe? I do need a bit more obsidian, so honestly would not mind that as an approach. Saved it. Yeah, let's see if there's any underneath this. Because we're not hearing lava anymore, but there is still some. Getting mass amounts of beans. We sure are. Is there an easy toggle for the advanced tooltips? F3 and H. Or H if you're not posh. Beans for days. Found only one village, but the terrain is bad. It has big drops in paths. Should you be worried? For the safety of the villagers, possibly. There is more iron here. Yep. The vein continues beyond the lava. As we get further down in the world, we have seen a few more of the full raw iron blocks, but I don't know if that's coincidence or not. Gold bean blocks are your new favorite block? The mac and cheese blocks. I'm sorry, Jasper, I'm sorry. It's so funny when they posted the textures for the raw blocks for the first time, and then Jappa was on Twitter the next day being like, why is my timeline full of beans? You feel for the guy. He does such good work. And then everyone's like, ha ha, it looks like beans. It does look like beans, though. It does. I think, honestly, Shadowstar, thank you for the 5 months. I think, honestly, the community needs to put its money where its mouth is, and we need to actually start using them as beans in a build. What I'm saying is I want to see a full English on my desk by tomorrow. I want to have a I want to have a build contest or something for people to actually build the bean blocks into a build as beans. Giant plate made out of quartz. Bean blocks everywhere. Man, there's a lot of mobs up in that one hidey hole up there. There was at least 2 creepers, a zombie, and a skeleton from what I saw. It's a lot. I swiped to the side of him once. I blocked with a shield. He still shot me. Creeper tennis? Nah, never mind. Community challenge, make picks, judge a breakfast build contest. Yeah, the baked bean build contest. I don't think this is part of the iron vein. So I think we've covered a fair amount of it. The funny thing is, this part of the iron vein over here, there's more diamonds there, by the way. This part of the iron vein here is actually nowhere near the part of the iron vein that we've been mining out for the entire episode. So I'm sort of wondering. Like, I think it's part of the same vein, but it's a good 100 blocks or so off from where we were. So I do think there's a substantial portion of this which is still unaccounted for, you know? And that's after dragging like another stack of raw iron blocks out of it from just this section down here. Like, we must have had at least a stack when I finished up earlier. It's absurd the amount of iron you get from these. I don't think it would be the start of a new one, because I don't know that they're that frequent. Again, I need to stop bridging up pillaring using tough. I'm creating red herrings for myself. We've definitely taken care of all of the stuff that's right here. There's a bit of iron up there, but it's getting into the upper levels at that stage. I think we are more or less done. There's a touch of it up there. But I also have a ton of stuff in my inventory right now, so... I'll maybe gather these blocks and then we might head back. Yeah, it doesn't look like it extends this far this way anyway. Famous last words. That's why you've been making noise this whole time. Oh, there's another one. Ah, there's two. Well, thanks for the XP. He blew up one deep slate block. Proud of him. Right. Yeah, we're not seeing much else around here from the ore vein. So that's all good. There are definitely some areas where I could have... It's still here, chat. There's more. There's more of it. There's diamonds behind the skeleton. Nope, cool. Yeah, there's a whole bunch right here. More huge iron vein. If I'm calling all the diamonds out. I mean, I normally do. Yeah, we don't need any more torches. I will normally call the diamonds out because inevitably if I go and light up a bit more of the cave so I can mine them in safety, somebody will tell me I've missed them. Bit of a cave in there. Nothing to worry about. What a ridiculous amount of iron, I know, right? We're only getting started. We've already passed the threshold of a stack of raw iron blocks. I feel like at least 10 of those have just been from finding the blocks themselves in the vein. Chuck out the regular deep slates. Deep slate classic. And this is with fortune, of course. Wouldn't have it any other way. Can you imagine mining all of this ore and then just being like, well, I just mined 1,000 blocks of iron ore without fortune, so I only have 1,000 iron. Honestly, if deep slate iron wasn't more abundant, I would be silk touching this now. But it's everywhere, so I can get more of it pretty easily. Cubfan mined iron beans using old school generation. Yeah, but you could still get a lot of iron. It's not like you had to be down in deep slate layers for it. Now this is looking pretty promising. This section here, there's like more iron blocks than not iron blocks. I feel like the main thing that's easier about mining out a copper vein is that granite doesn't form such huge blobs. Whereas tuff is one of the two main blocks that are down here. So you find that there's a great deal more tuff just kind of around in general, taking up space. And now we're all blocked up again. I think we need to go back. I think we need to go home. Because I am now running out of space to convert my blocks in. So, seems like a sensible time to go home to me. So much of it. I can't stop mining it. It's a surprisingly addicting experience. We can make that. Cool. And now I know my way out of here because it's actually dead easy. Tuff is a great block. I like it. It's like a better cobblestone. Except you can't do anything with it. You can't craft anything with it, I should say. You can do plenty with it. As long as you like building. The sound the tough block makes when it breaks is surprisingly difficult to say. I like this cave a lot because there's a geode just kind of suspended in the floor, Jumanji style. And this cave's got a lot going on that I haven't really been around yet. Love tough as a path block. I can see it being a good path block. There's my little tunnel. Jumanji style. The funny thing is, I can say Jumanji style and people know what I mean. We're all old. You don't have to be old to see Jumanji. It's on basically every Christmas. Do I like smooth basalt? I don't really dislike any blocks, really. Like, I can not have found uses for them yet, but that doesn't constitute a dislike to me. Like, smooth basalt seems like it'd be really cool to build with as long as you mix it with the right stuff, really. There we go. Is the next step a smelter array to process all this iron? I don't know if I'm going to be smelting a lot of it. Because I have an iron farm now. So why would I need to? Like, I'm rather thinking what I'll end up doing is keeping all of this for building with and smelting circumstantially if I need a bunch of iron in a hurry and I can't be bothered to wait for my iron farm. I'm over here, you idiot. Come on, honestly. Yeah, this is what I need to bring with me. Excuse me. And we'll throw in this. And then we'll put the rest of this in deep slate overstock. Obviously, we're getting a lot more tough than we are deep slate, so I'm already, like, full up on tough here, but we'll find something to do with it all. And then iron. Look at this. This has all come out of the huge iron vein. Like, I don't think I had much of this before. That's my iron farm output so far. This is all the huge iron vein. And I maybe had a little bit of iron that I'd already smelted from caving, but that's intense. Let me go check the iron farm's output while I'm here. But honestly, yeah, like, I spent more time mining versus AFK. I don't like to AFK all that much, because I'm usually doing stuff with my PC, so having Minecraft just running in the background is a drain on resources if I'm editing videos, for example. And if I'm not editing videos at the PC, I'm probably playing Minecraft. I don't like leaving my computer on overnight. And I think that hopefully contributes to a longer lifespan for some of the PC parts I have, because people are like, oh, I burned my graphics card out, and I'm like, well, what did you do? It's like, I left Minecraft on for 7 days. It's like, you'd like to think of this game as not very resource intensive, but it can be. Alright, looking at this, that's another stack or so of iron blocks. That's probably a stack and a half, so there's a lot going on there. I never turn off my PC. I turn off my PC when I leave the room sometimes. Just give it a rest every now and again, you know? My laptop's the problem. My laptop is the one I just put to sleep instead of, like, actually shutting it down. But then my laptop is something I use to browse the web, and that's more or less it. Sometimes I will play Stardew Valley on it if I'm on holiday. That's basically all it gets used for. I treat my PC like the instructions on a bag of popcorn, where it's like, don't leave this unattended! Don't let it cook for more than 3 minutes or your whole house will burn down. Like, the instructions on a bag of popcorn are so intense. They have been responsible for some house fires before, and they are not liable. They want you to know that. Let's compost all of those. We'll get more poppies. We'll get loads more poppies. The entire, like, the 5 stacks of poppies I put in here has produced 36 bone meal, so... 1 second more than 3 minutes and it's completely overcooked. Yes! The instructions on... I think it's Butterkist is the brand in the UK. There's, like... There's popcorn that we get, and the instructions on it are literally, like... printed in massive capital letters on the side of the bag. It's like, make sure it's this way up or you will die. Like, it's very intense. And I always laugh at that stuff, but then I realize these are safety instructions for people's safety, because otherwise your microwave will be set on fire. Found a web article saying it's best to put the PC to sleep and only shut it down when not using it for more than a day. Fair enough. I'm sure lots of people have opinions about this, and a lot of people know better than I do as well, but, like, either way, I think it's not a bad thing to turn off your PC every now and again. Mark Beasts and Space Child, thank you so much for the resub and the sub, respectively. The popcorn button on microwaves are the worst. Never trust them. Yeah, that sounds like a good, because all food is going to be different, right? 9/10 of the time those instructions exist because someone messed up. Yeah, there's a Jeff Green bit about how he was looking at, like, the instructions for a chainsaw, and it's like, don't try and touch the blade with your hands, and he's like, who's doing that? Like, what nutter has at some point in the past performed the action necessary for them to put those instructions on something? Like, it's like a thing on binoculars that says don't use these to look at the sun. It's like, you'd think it would be common sense and it'd be obvious, but clearly they've had to put that on there so they don't get sued. And it's an unfortunate circumstance that we live in a world that requires that. Do not stop with hands or gentiles. Yes, the gentiles will especially be a problem. You don't want a debutante suffering injuries to their hands. I know what you meant, but you spelled it funny, and I liked that. Sadly, common sense is not all that common anymore. Well, it depends on the type of common sense, really, because some people preach common sense about things that they should really have explained in better detail. So, yeah, I'm not gonna comment much further on that. I need to go and mine some coal. We have not got a great deal of coal, and it's Choppin' Tuesday, so we might as well. There's plenty of coal in this cave still. So, whoa, let me throw myself into my cobblestone generator. Just straight in the lava. Slam dunk, nothing but net. Uncommon sense, yeah. There you go. As opposed to the uncanny senses of Spider-Man. Don't know why I said that as Skeletor. That's a weird crossover. Most of the fire alarms going off in the dorms during your uni days was somebody burning the popcorn. Local fire department was very familiar with your university. I can see that. I can see that being the case. I feel like our neighbors set off their smoke alarm on a pretty regular basis, but I think they're just cooking bacon. Bacon is one of those things that, like, it creates enough natural smoke when you're, like, frying bacon that it's going to set off a smoke alarm if you have a mildly sensitive smoke alarm. Already died in this world? Why do you phrase it like that? You phrase it as though the assumption is natural. You must have died in this world, surely. I have not, as it happens. Why haven't you died already? Streamer, entertain us by dying. No, I'm not trying to read your tone that way. It's just funny to me. Still alive? Couldn't be me. That's Bruno. Still alive. Entertaining watching me die during bingo runs since it's such an oddity. Oh, guys, I was playing... I don't do this very often, but I was watching Alfredo stream God of War, and so I decided to just, like, load up Minecraft Bingo and play a test round. And, of course, because I could choose the... I could choose the cards myself. I wasn't doing it by, like, random numbers or whatever. I got a card yesterday that I was basically on, like, world record pace. And then I had to spend about 10 minutes trying to find a pumpkin and an egg. And that was it. Like, by the time it was like 16 minutes and something, I had all but 2 of the items, which was a dispenser. I didn't have enough string. And a pumpkin pie. And I was so mad. I mean, to be fair, it's probably good that I didn't get some kind of absurdly good time, because I wouldn't have had, like, the proof, except for a screenshot of the time. Like, I wouldn't have shown it to anybody. But, yeah, I was real mad that I couldn't find a pumpkin in that world. What's the world record in bingo? I think it's like 17 minutes and something. But honestly, all you need is one good setup at spawn. And it's probably been beaten now anyway. Why isn't tough a building block? It is a building block. It's only a building block. I'm not sure I understand the question. You mean, why doesn't tough have, like, slabs and stairs and stuff? Yeah, tough is not a crafting ingredient for anything, so it's pretty much only a block you can build with. Miley May, thank you for the brand new Tier 1 sub to the channel. Enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. And HybersX, thank you so much for 7 months. Much appreciated, both of you. Does the world record involve selecting a card one thinks is optimal? I don't know. And to be honest, I'm not that interested. I just think it's really funny. Like, I'm not that interested in having the world record. I just want to beat my own time. And I still didn't get below 30 minutes on that run because, first of all, I didn't get enough string for the dispenser. I spent long enough looking for a pumpkin or a chicken that had laid an egg that I wasn't able to get the string from the spider. I killed a couple of skeletons for bows, that didn't work. So I ended up getting I think it was like a 31-minute time or something like that. I was mad. I mean, I wasn't mad, but I'm never really mad. I keep forgetting when I go caving like this, I just automatically go for the most interesting looking cave, which is usually at deep slate level, and then I realize, oh wait, no, I need to be mining higher up for coal, don't I? So like being around down here is virtually pointless for what I want to do. This is the stuff we want to be exploring. We need to be back at my little wow, that's cool. Need to be back at my little deep slate coal spot. Look over here. That looks pretty cool. What's this little crack down this way? Nothing is what it is. Worth a look though. It goes up that way. Alright, chat, keep it PG. Yeah, I missed some iron. I might have skipped over a couple of iron ore. Just a couple. Just one or two. I think we have actually mined out all of the coal from around here. Give or take a couple of patches that are like down here in the water. And there's whole sections of, yeah, flooded cave underneath here that I never really visit because mining in aquifers is a bit of a pain if you don't have water breathing. Here's a question, chat. Do you think it's worth crafting a turtle helmet just for going, like, mining in aquifers like this? Because it's an extra 10 seconds of water breathing, but it's a renewable 10 seconds of water breathing. It's not something that has a timer like a potion does. It doesn't have an area of effect like a conduit. And you can use it for short periods, like dipping into aquifers. Yeah, I just broke a deep slate coal. What of it? It's not actually that uncommon. I mean, look at this. We've got two more here. Oh, wait, that's not one. That's just a block of deep slate. But we have one there as well, so it's not that bad. Got a diamond over there, too. You might as well go and grab. Iron, near tough. It must be another vein. I think we still touched this one. Look at all the different varieties of blocks we have, and this is just the stone range right here. Haven't even mined any granite. It's another mechanic like leather boots, I'm all for it. Yeah, I think I probably wouldn't main a turtle helmet. But I do think it has a little bit more utility than it used to. Which is always of interest to me, you know? Like, it's always cool to find when stuff has new uses that it never really had before. Why not just get respiration? I mean, yeah, but there's also areas of underwater caves that take more than, like, 20 seconds or so to swim through. Just having a little bit of extra insurance against that. I don't have respiration on this helmet yet, and I will get it eventually, but it's more like... The turtle helmet exists for a reason. I want to find reasons to justify its use. And there haven't really been that many for me before, because... Previously, the only thing you'd really need it for would be oceans, which are much bigger than a single turtle helmet is really going to give you a buff to avoid taking drowning damage, you know? Like, 10 seconds of water breathing is not going to matter much to you if you're trying to do stuff underwater in an ocean. Like, it might be the thing that makes or breaks it for you if you're, like, diving a shipwreck or something. It gives you an extra 10 seconds to get out, but you're not going to wear a turtle helmet just in case. It's more where my brain is going. I think just having the option is nice, but I doubt that many people take the option. I think we can get up there. There we go. And now we don't have to worry about getting up that ravine again. Oh wait, we're in the wrong place. I think I have all of the coal from around here, because I think I came down here for coal a couple of times. This is just like my go-to caving area for coal now. Yeah, there we go, there's our exit. Made a turtle helmet for just for the aesthetic. I think that might be the only, like, legit reason to go with a turtle helmet, is just for the looks. Is that a creeper? It was a creeper. Right next to my nether portal of all places. I don't want to think about how much stuff could be waiting for me on the other side of that portal once I've done a couple of nights around here. I'm very happy the iron farm's still working though. Flower pots, my friends. Flower pots. Okay, we now have a bit more coal, which I'm happy with. We've got a few blocks of coal in here, but I want to keep a decent supply, and I like having it in my inventory for when we need to craft torches and whatnot. What do we think? One round of bingo? I might run to the bathroom quickly first, but I think maybe we do one round of bingo. And I'll try curating the card myself this time, and we'll see if we can get a sub 30 time. We'll see. Be right back, folks. Hello. We're back. Back once again with the ill behavior. Underwater night vision would be amazing for a turtle helmet. Doesn't water breathing give you slightly more night vision? Or is that just conduit power? I'm thinking of conduit power. Blood count, thank you for the 230 bits. Is that the Dracula kind of count? Alright, just loading up the 116.5 instance. We'll change the stream title as well now, actually. There we go. Is the picture flipped or is my t-shirt backwards? The picture is flipped. Master Yo gifting a sub, thank you very much. Bear with me while this loads. Okay. Here we are in the bingo verse for one round. Let's make it a good one.
Well, that's just crime.
The thing that I've found has tripped me up, time after time, is dungeon loot. So ideally I want a card that doesn't have... It's not even necessarily golden apples, but it's the name tags, it's the crab hands. No, it's name tags and saddles are the main thing. Enchanted books as well. This one looks like it could be doable.
Well, that's
need a bit of iron, need some diamonds, pumpkin, stray arrow, and the spider eye, but not the fermented spider eye. The hay bale is also a little bit awkward sometimes, but I've noticed more villages lately. Amazon Prime with 2 M's, thank you for the Prime sub. And Cerulean Valley, thank you for the Prime sub as well, appreciate that very much. We've got a hype train rolling as well. Exciting times. Let's go with this. Let's see if we can go with this. So there's a couple of things on here that a decent shipwreck would probably do pretty well. Like mainly the emerald. I think the arrow of slowness is going to be the main problem. The jack-o'-lantern might be a problem. The rest of this looks okay. The diamond axe and the hay bale for the target block could also be problematic. But I got a hay bale in a pretty decent way the other day, so we'll see how that works out. Hunter, thank you for the 1,000 bits, and Napo with the Prime sub as well. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes and your sub badge. Welcome to the Pixels. I can see this going pretty well, but we'll see. You don't need too much iron for this either. Just rails. The 2 minecarts are pretty intensive, but it's not like full iron block status. We got a rune portal over there. We got a shipwreck buried in the sand there. That could maybe get us a pumpkin if I can't see one from here already. Buried shipwreck is a tough start though, so I might look for something else. Sea pickles over there. Lots of sand for glass. We got red over there as well. We don't need an egg, notably, so we don't need to wait around for chickens. Let's get to shore. Let's get this party started. No eggs should be golden. We'll see. We'll see. The Badlands over there as well. Badlands are worth looking out for in this version of Bingo because of the glazed terracotta blocks. We'll see. We'll see how we do. Oh, we're in a cave already. Great. Emergency strats. Whoa, Hard Sinclair gifting 20 subs. Thank you so much. What? Just Single-handedly beasting the hype train, apparently. Thank you very much, and folks in the chat who just got gifted a sub, make sure you thank Carl Sinclair for that very generous sub gift to the community. That might have taken us over 1,000 subs, if people's subs haven't, like, expired during this stream. So that is wild, for a start. Thank you so much. Alright, we got those two. Alright, let's take a quick look around here for iron. We'll get some gravel while we're here as well, because we need flint for the fletching table. Okay, we got the flint, perfect. We don't need a flint and steel either. We've got a spider here. Can we get an early spider eye? If spider eye is the first thing we get... Oh, dang it. That's a shame. No iron in this whole cave, though. So let's go look at that shipwreck instead. We need sugarcane for the empty map. Let's grab a dandelion for the rabbit. Put that offline now. We'll get a rose bush from over here. And that's our red dye figured out later. Now, I don't know if we'll have any of the treasure stuff in here. Because it looks like this is broken. Yeah, that's not ideal. Okay. Can at least give this a try. When you're behind the mast, it's usually down here. This is going to be really painful if I've just ended up digging into this for no reason. Yeah, see, this is the door right there. I don't think it's generated a chest. Yeah, that's not happening for us, is it? Well, boo. Okay, we got a bit more wood from this. That's the most we got. So this hasn't worked out super great for a start, but... never mind. So we'll make this. We'll make these. We'll throw all of these blocks out. We'll pick up the crafting table from behind them, somehow. And then let's go look at that ruined portal. Just so we can maybe tick something off our list. Ominous digging music, I know. Yeah, that ship was awful. That was not great. We don't need a Heart of the Sea, so we don't need to rely on shipwreck loot this time around. Something, at least, would be nice. Alright, a lot of iron from that, at least. But nothing else. We wouldn't get a great deal from a ruined portal anyway. Let's head over this way. Could get the other dye from over here in the flower forest. We can get the lime dye from over here on the reef if we get the sea pickles. But yeah, that whole shipwreck was a time loss, basically. Unfortunate, but we'll do what we can. Not seeing any cornflowers. Might be some over here, let's check. There's one. Cool. So we've got purple dye done. We've got lime dye virtually done. We need cows. We need some snow layers from over here. Don't need sweet berries from the spruce biome, so we don't need to worry about those. Alright, yeah, plenty of room here. This can be where we come back to get the stray arrow. Unless we find a better way to do that later, but let's get this done first. There's purple. There's a snow layer. Might as well put this down. Cook this. Get lime. Craft these into ingots. There we go, we got 4 of those. That was awful crafting, but we'll do what we can. Let's turn that into a pickaxe. Much as I want a pair of shears or a bucket or something, the pickaxe is just going to make it easier for us. Okay, good. This is very ominous music, isn't it? Let's get some ink from the squid down here. Cool. Now, ideally what I'd like is a shipwreck that's better than that last one. I found a bunch of basically full ships in the run that I nearly had a good time on. Because they ended up being like the ones with all 3 masts and everything. Or the ideal ones I find are the ones that are on their sides, because you can dive straight down into the compartments that have the individual stuff that you need. Right, this has magma blocks, so we'll go down here to get some redstone. Potentially the diamonds that we need for the axe. There's lapis here, but we don't need that. More lapis, more lapis. Wrong blue rocks. We've got the redstone here. There's gold there as well, but we don't really need gold for anything, do we?
That's just prime.
So we need those. Let's check out this cave real quick, see if this has anything. Nope, just a bat. Okay,
Well,
fine.
that's just prime.
Oh my goodness, so much stuff has been happening and I can't look at any of it. Yes, there's our 3 diamonds for the axe. Amazing. Alright, the diamond axe is probably one of the harder things here, so that's fine. Let's get the iron while we're down here. Dip down here, grab that iron. We'll start that smelting here while we go looking for more, because we need a lot. So further up here, there's a cod, but we don't need that. Every so often you do need cod, and so I always end up grabbing it. Anything good in this cave? Bit of iron, which I would prefer to get from here than from out in the water, because it's a bit of a pain sometimes. Also hearing baby zombies, which usually means a spawner. Or just a big cave with a lot of zombies, I suppose. Hello. Don't really need these guys, so let's just cut that off. Right, we've got some iron at least. It's a good start. Let's keep looking. And frankly, we might as well just swap in a solid block and grab some of the iron from along here. Because this might be 8 iron, you know. It's at least 4. This will be worth it too. Okay, cool. Go in here, just throw that.
Well, that's just prime.
Right, we can make a furnace minecart now. And that way that's out of the way and we keep the furnace we're working with. We can also craft the axe. Nice. Oh, this didn't have any fuel. That's not a great start. We've got a bit more coal here, though. I will thank everybody for the subs and everything and the hype train at the end of this, but I'm just trying to concentrate on completing this run right now. Okay, at this point we should head back to the surface as soon as we can, really, because we need to make sure we can get the stray arrow tonight. But that and the spider eye should be hopefully fairly simple. He says, lying through his teeth. We'll throw that out. We've got this, that we can get a bucket, so we can get the salmon hopefully on the way back up. We don't need the red or the purple anymore. Dang it, I cancelled that too early. Let's get some sticks, so we have those ready for some of the other stuff. Oh yeah, we can make the fletching table now as well, so we'll need more wood once we get to the surface, but that's that done. Could really do with more iron. That's the glass bottle. It's just going to be one iron, yeah. Hello, little drowned. There was a bit more up here somewhere. Yeah, I remember seeing this vein of 4 that could be another 8. And I can't get to it. There we go. Alright, this is looking better. I think we'll take this to the surface, because we can craft this stuff anywhere. It will just need us to be a little bit more prepared. Yeah, we don't have the clay around here, but we can get the clay from somewhere else. Okay. We already have a furnace, but having a second one is usually helpful. There's our boats. Make the nearest snow plains. Which I think was back here by the frozen ocean. Let's see. Let's see how we do with the stray and the spider luck. We'll need gunpowder for the firework as well, but 1 gunpowder is not that hard to come by. While we're on our way past. Nice. I try and get those without getting out of the boat now. Regular skeleton. Not seeing any strays up here. Sometimes they can be the edges of snowy taiga biomes, so they're not always super reliable for stray spawns. I find that the snowy biomes just get a little bit unpredictable, so I'm thinking we might need to find a better one. Right now the only food I have is this one fish. Lost Diamond Axe? Yeah, you don't get to keep the items if they're on the bingo card. They get basically removed from your inventory once you craft them, which makes it part of the strategy to only craft stuff that you actually won't need at the time. Like, you keep a furnace so that you can make a furnace minecart later, for example. There's our spider eye. That was pretty much perfect. Now if only I can have the same luck with strays. We don't need an ender pearl, so we can ignore that guy. This is basically the opposite biome temperature to what I want. You don't get strays in icebergs. Not seeing any snow plains. There's a mountain over there, but that's not ideal. We might have to go on foot. Not my preferred way of getting around. We can pick up the sugarcane on the way, I guess. Yeah, I definitely need to smelt some more iron, though. Excuse me. We'll grab this clay on the way. Thank you. Yeah, and the suspicious stew was something I was hoping we'd get from shipwrecks, but that's not always the worst thing. You find roofed forests a lot in these worlds. Like, there's one right over here that will have, if not both mushrooms, then one of them. Oh, there's a shipwreck on the shore there as well, though. Potentially quite risky at night, though. We might come back for that. This is a taiga biome, not a dungeon. No, we're in 1.16.5, so we can't turn strays. We can't turn skeletons into strays. Powdered snow isn't a thing in this version. So unfortunately we have to find a stray, and for our best chances of getting the arrow, we will have to find it in the next 4 minutes. The snow on the spruce trees over there. I'm not seeing a snow biome elsewhere, so I say we go this way. And let's hope that there's... Oh, there's a snow plains, or is that a mountain? It's kind of difficult to tell. Long for the days of 118 when you can tell what a mountain is. I'm also still only defending myself with a daffodil right now. This is a bona fide snow plains. You can tell because there are no strays spawning here. What the heck? There's a witch over there. Oh, there's a stray, thankfully. Now all he has to do is drop the arrow first time, and we'll be good. Dang it. Okay, one more. Encore. Yeah, there's a couple over there. There's 4 over there. Gosh, okay. Might actually need to craft a shield. Unless we can bait one of them away from the group. Hey there, bud. Yep, he's found me. I don't have any food. So that's a concern immediately. Really should have planned for this better. This is a terrible mistake. Chat, if strays die due to sunlight, do they still drop their arrows? Asking for a friend. They don't? Okay, so I do need to kill it. Well, if we do get a sub 30, we've got a sub 30 eating a lot of raw fish in the process. Alright. I'm going to do the silly thing right now and make myself a hopper minecart instead of a shield, because I don't have any wood, so... let's make sure we get the fish. And let's hope the strays are still there. Because the creepers will be. There's a couple of strays, good. See if we can get them to shoot the spider instead. The other thing about this that I didn't explain up front is that we are on easy difficulty, which does help for situations when I need to face down a bunch of strays and I have very little on me. Alright, let's get some wood at least. Use looting 3 Kappa? Yeah, thank you very much. Alright. I have not seen any pumpkins, but I haven't been looking for them, which is probably a mistake that I will pay for later. Let's go kill a creeper as well while we're at it. Oh, and bunnies. I haven't been looking for bunnies while we've been here in the snow plains. I am hopeful that there would be some. My hope is potentially in vain. There are cows up there, though, and we need leather for the book. We also need a bit more sugarcane. Alright, we have at least some leather. Oh, we need the bucket of milk as well, yeah. I don't have a bucket right now is the problem. And we don't have quite enough iron to get a bucket, but we can make the flower pot now. Can't fill the flower pot with milk, though. Alright, I guess I'll make this now. We can get a bit more iron for the hopper minecart later. Still on the lookout for rabbits and not seeing them. All the hitboxes around here are items, not mobs. So in theory we can still do this. I need a couple more things to come through for me at this point. First of all, I need this desert to be a place where rabbits spawn, and also to have a village so that I can get a free hay bale. Because we have enough bones to grow a little bit of wheat, but I should have grabbed the bones from that plains while I had the chance. I did get lucky with villages in the other round that I played as well, so... We've got plenty of sugarcane here, though, so that's a good thing for the map. And the firework and the book, because all of those need paper. That should be enough. Let's plop down here for a second. And we'll cook some beef while we craft some things. Turn that into a book. We could make the map if we had the compass. But we also don't have any gunpowder, so we can't make anything else. There's rabbits there, though. Drop a piece of meat, thank you. Alright, so we got that. That'll cook. We don't have a village from the looks of things, but at least we have this. Lovely. Some more iron right there that we can grab. At least the steak will keep us going for a while too. 5? Perfect. Don't think there's a whole lot we can do beyond searching for a village, trying to grind for wheat, or maybe going back to sea and looking for shipwrecks with emeralds or wheat in. I haven't found many savannah villages when I've been playing bingo. I feel like they're always either plains, taiga, or desert villages. Quick scan for shipwrecks. Not seeing any. Also drowned ruins. Not a bad idea. Why do I have a flower in my offhand? The flower is for catching rabbits specifically, but I no longer need it, so thank you for the reminder. So here's a drowned ruin, which has the potential to give us enough wheat. It did not, but it gave us the emerald, so I'll take it. That's our bingo. Of course, we're looking for the full blackout, so we do need a little bit more than that. Where are we headed? East and south. Okay, so over this way. There's a pumpkin. Perfect. We need some shears. We can make torches and put that on my head, I guess. Perfect. Okay, good. Alright, this is inland. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it's right on the edge of this lake. Let's get our 9-9 coordinate. Nice, okay. Well, we got a bit of stuff here that we could have used a little while ago, but a bit more iron is not bad. Let's throw this in here. We'll probably cook it with some wood. And split that. Yeah, might as well. Okay, so with the diamonds, we're just going to make a quick diamond pickaxe so that we can save having these two in our inventory. We're going to grab the foods. We don't need the heart of the sea. And this, I guess we'll need to take some of the wood out of here so that we can make ourselves a chest. Although we could just break the chest that's down there. At this stage we want that. We want the hopper. Cool. Next up, we need to make sure we have at least one flower, and now we need a brown mushroom from somewhere. And there's a sheep over here for the painting. There's one closer over here. Did we get that? We did. Okay, good. Okay, so I made the sticks earlier, but I ended up using them on stuff, so that's not really that helpful. Okay, that took a second. We can also make the piston right now. So we have that. And I guess... Oh, we can also make the empty map. Let's throw that. We have iron redstone. And paper. Nice. Throw that, throw that, throw that. Oh wait, no, we need the redstone, dang it. Okay. Just casually throwing away stuff that we desperately need. There we go. Yeah, at this point it looks like we're probably not going to make it unless we stumble into a dungeon in a cave that has mushrooms. And we get easy wheat and gunpowder from that. Well, there's one of the two ingredients we needed. It's a dungeon that has a chest. We just break my axe over the zombie's face. Doesn't have enough wheat. Does have gunpowder though. There's enough bones there that we could get the wheat grown on the surface. We don't quite have a sub 30 time on our hands, but we could do things this way. Break this down. And then once we've got the wheat seeds, we can do those with bone meal. Yeah, this hasn't been too bad. More wheat than we needed. But we can at least make this. And then all we would need would be the mushroom. So that was pretty good. Pretty good, all things considered. You get the mushroom from spruce forest over here. Or a roof forest if we saw one. Yeah, the ones with pods all have mushrooms more often than these ones, unfortunately. There's sweet berries that we don't need. Hey, this wasn't a bad attempt. I'm fairly happy with that. Yeah, I don't see a dark oak forest from around here, unfortunately. You do sometimes get mushrooms in the spruce forests. You get them mostly in the ones with podzol. And it's another 31. But a pretty solid 31. And there's a skeleton to end our run. Oh, of course, there's a freaking mushroom island out here. Save me from this agony. Where were you when I needed you? There we go. If that shipwreck at the start had actually had some stuff in it, we might have done alright. But it's under a 32, so that ain't too bad. Should we do one more? I think maybe one more. Maybe we'll do one more. Once again, I'm gonna use my executive position to grab the card for myself instead of asking chat to randomly roll one for me. So that was not too bad. Not too bad. That one's got the name tag. I don't like relying on dungeon loots. I think that's really where I'm at with this. The cake is also awful. Saddle, nope. That one's got the name tag again. It's also got obsidian. That's looking closer, but the enchanted book is a killer. Like, I don't think I've ever got an enchanted book on a run where I needed one. This one doesn't look terrible. We've got 3 types of dye. We've got the egg, but I've got relatively decent extracts. Obsidian could be rough, but we got some diamonds in the last run that could get us the obsidian if we can't find it in an easy nether portal. Block of redstone isn't tough. Stray arrow, as we saw, is occasionally a bit rough, but I think this one's okay. Yeah, we'll see how we do. A glistering melon's not too bad. Again, ruined nether portals can have them. Otherwise, you just need a gold ingot and a melon. And we can find melons in jungles. Egg strats, yes. Egg strats are very important for bingo. It's not blackstone, it's obsidian. The nether doesn't exist in bingo. Sub 29? Alright, I'll take that bet. What do I get if you lose? Alright, oh. Cold biome starts. Okay, so we come back here for the stray. There's obviously plenty of kelp everywhere. I'm not seeing any shipwrecks. Don't know if there's going to be one under the ice or not. Let's push the render distance a little further and see how we do. Still not seeing anything really usable. Okay, well, we'll have to think about it. But yeah, the warm ocean over there can provide the lime dye. There's going to be salmon all around here. Gonna get mauled by a polar bear. This will be a decent start. We can get the sugarcane right away for the map. Well, thanks. It broke itself. I just looked at it and it broke. And that was only 7 as well, so we'll need more. We'll get 3 sands. We'll need a cooked rabbit, so we'll grab this. There's iron right down there, so we can look down there. Yeah, once we end up getting the rabbit meat, we should be able to use the dandelion for the suspicious stew, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's hop down here, just because we'll get an easy start with iron down here, even though we take a little bit of damage. Oh, and here's zombies and creepers. Wonderful. Well, I need gunpowder, so we'll have to fight you. Oh, never mind. Thanks for the cobblestone, though. Broke my crafting table, didn't he? Also gave me enough snowballs that I'm almost at the snow layer. But alas, we're not going to get that too easily. There's also only 2 iron, which is very stingy of this world. Right, let's do this. Let's get a shovel as well. Hello. Thank you. Let's maybe organize stuff a little better here. That's all we needed for that. Chuck these in the hole. Oh, zombie villager. Nice to see you. I hear a skeleton. I see a skeleton. I die to a skeleton. That was me thinking this was going to be an easy start for iron. Turns out, actually rubbish. Okay, cold ocean. Let's get a little bit more wood so we can make doors and everything else we need to make out of wood. There's a boat and a bed and all kinds of other stuff. We already have a crafting table. That was me thinking we were starting over. Alright, doors, beds, fletching table, all of that stuff. Salmon. Hello? Do I get to have the salmon, please? Thank you. Grab the kelp while I'm here. Honestly, I think the best thing to do is just drive through one of those patches of kelp while you're rowing around. So we might do that while we look for more shipwrecks. There'll be a warm ocean somewhere nearby as well, so... Then again, we have a magma ravine right here, so we might as well get that. Look down here for iron, then redstone. Thankfully, we have a bit of coal already. Don't cook the boat. Whatever you do, don't cook the boat. Any more iron we can grab while we're here? Yes, there is. This looks like a decent little amount. Ice would be a surprisingly brutal card item. Yeah, you wouldn't really get it. I think you'd have to either have a wandering trader or, you know, make a silk touch pickaxe or something. Pretty sure wandering trader might be the only way you could get that. Because anything that involves you actually enchanting successfully would just be a nightmare. Let's throw this in here and keep smelting. We need more sticks. Alright, we can throw this in. We'll put another one of those in there. Actually, no, we'll need to keep the coal in there, won't we? We'll come back via all of that iron. That's probably not enough redstone, is it? No. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. So let's grab all of this. We need to be back at spawn for eggs and strays. Just for the cyan dye, that's a good call. I normally have decent luck finding cornflowers, but... Where was the lapis? Is it over here somewhere? Yeah, I see it. Okay, we don't need more than that. I don't know why I'm breaking 2 blocks of the stuff. Lapis just throws itself at you. Okay, I'll leave the door down here. Brush the surface. Okay, so we're still pretty close by. If there are any chickens in this forest, we'll get the egg nice and easy. This will have been loaded the whole time. Let's not make the mistake we did last time, and let's actually get some food. This was our spawn point right here, yeah? You can tell by the zombie noises. So we didn't get lucky with any, diamonds down there in the ravine. Here's our brown mushroom. There's more pigs over here, which I'll kill for some food, just in case we need it. There's more sugarcane along the shoreline here. Man, there's no chickens anywhere near spawn. Not that I can see, at least. We don't need sweet berries, do we? No. This is the unfortunate part of just, like, running around trying to find stuff that's more time sensitive, like chickens. Trying to find specific mobs when you need them is just real rough. I heard a rabbit over here. Where's Rabbit Hop? Rabbit squeaks, rabbit hops, where are you? Oh, I guess snow plains, huh? Nailed it. Good, good. Okay, let's throw this down. Let's craft another furnace. Get a couple more of those. Should probably just have thrown the wooden pickaxe in again. And once we're done with this, we'll start smelting the kelp. Which is one of those and one of those. Let's get a little bit more wood if we can. Let's turn as much of that as we can into paper. I don't see much else around spawn. We will need to eat before we go anywhere else. So in the meantime, let's make this. Let's make the hopper minecart now. Okay, we have that. We can make the redstone block. We can now make the compass. And with that, we can do the empty map once we have a little bit more stuff. Don't think we need redstone for anything else except for the target block. Alright, I can take the dandelion out of my offhand now. There we go. Alright, this time I'm making a shield. Because I need one. Alright, this is almost done smelting that. We can do the sand as well. Grab a little bit more cobblestone. Let's turn that into a furnace. We've got the kelp block now. We can smelt this. And there's a furnace minecart in here, so I might as well just get that out of the way. Okay, we have pork chops. I can eat. I can heal. Night is falling. We need gunpowder. We need a stray arrow of slowness. We need one more iron for the rails. And we need some iron for shears a bit later as well. Break one of these down into blue dye now. Okay, okay. We don't need an apple for once. I'll take the sticks, actually. So that's that done. I don't think we can really smelt much else. There's a creeper, and this time we are slightly better protected against creepers. Doesn't even drop the gunpowder. What a swine. This is probably going to be our best place to spawn strays, so I should hope that we get something around here. This is Cold Beach, so that's not going to be that helpful. We'll go for this guy. I didn't even hit him. No gunpowder again? Are you serious? Come on. Come on. Skeleton shoots, but not the right type of skeleton. There's a stray. Perfect, perfect, perfect. A lot of good the shield did me. Yes, okay, good. We got that. We got that. Now for the gunpowder. Third attempt. Third time lucky. Oh, he bobbed and weaved. He bobbed and weaved. That creeper had the jukes. We have everything we need. Let's move. We don't need to stay in this biome anymore. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. There's pumpkins. More gunpowder? More gunpowder? Hello? Dang it. Skeleton threw me off. Still no gunpowder. Come on. What game are we playing again? Thought this was Minecraft. Egg, egg, egg. Amazing. Okay. So we need one more brown mushroom for the mushroom stew anyway. Because I just realised I'm going to have to put the brown mushroom I've got on me towards the fermented spider eye. Provided I can get a spider eye at all. But that's okay, there's a roofed forest over here. Need to kill a squid. For the grey dye. Did that drop ink? It did, okay, good. I was looking for the drops in the water, I didn't realise I'd already picked them up. Yeah, I need the pumpkin, I need the pumpkin. I'm going back. Going back in a second. I don't have, I didn't craft the shears already, so... I think that's a brown mushroom up there. I hope that's a brown mushroom up there. I think it's another red one. Brown mushrooms are always kind of awkward in roofed forests. Sometimes they're difficult to get to. See if we've got any in here. Alright, we'll go back this way. Because this way we can go back and get the brown mushroom from over here as well. It's a drowned just standing there on the shoreline. Hey, we got some sugarcane too, so that's worth it. I need that for the empty map, and we also need some sugar for the fermented spider eye. Once again, provided we get a spider eye, which is not a guarantee. Why do I even craft a shield when it doesn't work? Going the long way over this. The pumpkins were back over here. Let's get the red dye from one of these. So I haven't seen any sheep as far as I can tell either. So it's going to be quite difficult getting hold of a red bed at short notice. There's the pumpkins. Okay, cool. Yeah, I ran for that egg and immediately got distracted from the pumpkins, but it's fine. I didn't miss the flower. It's in my inventory. Just because it doesn't pop up in my hotbar doesn't mean I don't have it, and there's flowers everywhere anyway. Alright, more opportunities to get gunpowder. That's 4 for 4 right now. Finally! Gosh. Okay, now we need the spider eye. Which means I need the spider and no other mobs to attack me, please. Yeah, it was never going to work, was it? The spider just took damage and thought better of it, I think. Alright, fine. Saves time. Alright, where to? Please drop your eyes. Dang it. Alright, I'm gonna keep moving. This I need. Ouch. And now my pickaxe is broken. Good. Don't have a whole lot to eat right now. Gonna have to find a spider in a cave or something, aren't we? Okay, let's take stock of what we can do. What we can do is beat on stone with our fists here. We can at least... Yeah, we can make this. Which is for grey. Do that. Be cool. We can smelt the sand, because I've got that. Let's probably just break down some of this, unless there was any coal behind me. No, probably not. I figure we'll probably make a bowl and get the mushroom stew out of the way now. That's not how you make mushroom stew. Not very appetizing, anyway. So I didn't get another brown mushroom, unfortunately. We do need a little bit more iron. The cool thing is we can find spider eyes any number of ways. So we may yet end up getting... Let's just make another axe, shall we? Instead of mining everything with our hands. In before there's something in front of this door that immediately kills me. A skeleton under a tree. Look over there. Alright, let's kill some sheep. Or pigs. Pigs will do, but sheep would be better for mutton and wool. Trying my best not to take any damage until we find some sheep. Again, usually it's like... I need one mob, and the mob I need is nowhere to be found. Here's our jungle for the melons, though. Provided it has any, which is another consideration entirely. I guess there's a brown mushroom or two off the coast here as well, so... Okay. We can, for a start, we can get some flint from this. Not exactly fortune shovel territory here, but we're doing okay. We can smelt some more pork chops. We can craft a fletching table, so there's that. We need shears for the pumpkin. And then we need torches, but I don't have any coal, so we can make, I guess, one piece of charcoal. And then at least I can eat. Do we really not have any melons in this whole jungle? Melons are usually kind of tough, but the expansion to jungles... There we go, finally. The expansion to jungles in the latest update to this pack is supposed to have made them slightly easier to find. Even so, I find them everywhere when I don't need them. And they're never there when I do. Okay, so we can at least make a torch and get the jack-o'-lantern out of the way. We need a desert, primarily so that we can... Hang on. Where's my axe? There we go. Don't need this. Don't need that. We still need that. Still need a lot of this, actually, so I'm just going to chuck out those two. To the boat. Oh, and right there we have a ruined nether portal. So that's turning around for us. Can at least get the gold from there. Might even have a glistering melon in the chest and save me the crafting time. Doesn't have the gold, so we can just grab this. Did I get that? Did it get dragged away? It got dragged away. So it doesn't have obsidian in here either, unfortunately, so that's still an obstacle to us. And let's look for a drowned ruin. Or a shipwreck. And that looks like a desert over there because there's a cactus. That's perfect. So we can get 2 for 1 on the cactus. Hopefully the shipwreck will be the type that has some iron. Okay, smelt this with whatever we've got handy. Craft this down. That's the melon. Throw the golds, which is hilarious, but we don't need it. Right. Shipwreck time. In from the top. Treasure map. And through here. Door right there. Lots of this. That should actually be all the iron we need. So that's good. Right, we'll turn this into white dye so we can get the lime green that way. Keep that there. And do this. So we've got those done. We'll throw the pumpkin seeds as well because we don't need those. We can make some more paper. With the paper, we can make our empty map, finally. And we still don't have any wool from the sheep. Don't think this is going to have a dungeon in it, somehow. But you never know. No, I'm good. The creeper just waiting there. Let's get our birch sapling while we can. Along with a bit more wood. And once again, the saplings are trolling me. So, what is this, a skyblock playthrough? Didn't even pick up that log, it's fine. Right, we need one of those. We don't have a spider eye. And we can make this into an ingot so that we can make rails. We've got those. We can chuck them immediately. We still don't have the obsidian on the docket anywhere, so we'd have to go to sea to get that. We don't need this red mushroom because we can throw that one. Kind of hope that this buried treasure would be nearby. It might be, you know. Because if this is near enough where we are, yeah, that's like over here. Don't have my boat on me anymore. If this had diamonds, we could go and get obsidian. Which is really the only difficult thing on here besides the wheat, and the wheat is going to be the biggest problem, I think. Bizarre how that works, isn't it? Okay, we have one diamond. Unfortunate, but it's one more than we had before. So alas, it looks like we are not getting a sub 30 time once again. If we had any sheep in this forest, that would be nice. If they hadn't all died in the lava. They've probably been killed by wolves in this forest. Oh yikes, the whole thing's burning down. This is my life right now. If that led to a dungeon, that could be our only hope of salvation. But alas, it did not. Does anyone else feel like they never get mob spawns in birch forests? Like it so rarely happens to me. Okay, there's rabbits there. I've seen basically no sheep what feels like this entire time. So I think we're probably just going to mercy kill this one. Because we're almost at 30 minutes and it's probably about time for me to wrap up the stream. Nice view though. Never see passive mobs until I already have an elytra, I know, right? Yeah, I think we'll call it there. I think it's been a solid attempt, but even picking the cards, for whatever reason, we don't always get the spawn we want. I swear, the card I had the other day was just so worth it. But it's been a good stream. I think we've done a lot of stuff for the survival guide especially, and we'll be able to use all that iron however we want to. I need to thank some people for the subs and everything during the hype train, so thank you, O2 Big Kev, for catching a stream live, and you'll be able to catch it all again on Pixel VODs on YouTube. I have to upload the VODs 24 hours after the stream because of Twitch exclusivity deals and stuff, but you'll be able to catch anything that I've uploaded to YouTube over there at Pixel VODs. Plot Desk, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. Hopeless Dove, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Cheeky Pops with a brand new Tier 1 sub. Steph Mate with 7 months. Devon gifting a sub earlier. Melanus Rex with the 4 months of Prime. Armory Gaming UK with a Prime sub. And Mireth Kier with the 10 gifted subs. Rock Anakin with the 5 months. Snowy Horned Owl with the 100 bits. And I think we're all caught up because that's where Hart Sinclair gifted 20. I need to see how many subscribers we have right now because that's wild. That is probably the biggest boost I've had for a little while. Let's go to our dashboard here. Yep, we are well over 1,000. We're at like 1,090 sub points. That is absurd. Thank you all so much. It really means a lot. And we're going to be raiding somebody here on Twitch. Let's see who's out here playing some Minecraft. Claire Zulo, thank you so much for the 3 months. Before you go and miss the chance, thank you for all that you do. You are more than welcome. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for hanging out in chat. So my partner is currently streaming their copywork project where they are copying out the entirety of Lord of the Rings by hand over on their Twitch channel. They're doing some cool stuff with like stationery and fountain pens and things like that. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, twitch.tv/celerymin. Bear in mind that they are not a family-friendly streamer. There is adult language and adult conversations happening over there. So I'm going to drop you guys off with somebody who's streaming some Minecraft right now. And let's see who's out here. Let's see if we can just check on the category in case there's anybody I miss. Because sometimes, like, I will dip into people's streams and I won't be following necessarily, but it's kind of cool to see who else is out here doing stuff. Are there any names I recognize out here? Yeah, Jay is streaming, Foxy is streaming. I tell you what, Dave the Guy is streaming right now, and he's raided me a couple of times. He's staring a creeper in the face on his BRB screen right now, but I'll send you guys over to him. See if I can get his username right. There's the underscore is in the wrong place. There we go. So yeah, we're going to be raiding Dave the Guy 1604. You can use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag PixelRaid to show some love once he gets back from his break. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Dave is on Legacy with a bunch of our good friends. So go and check that stream out. And I will see you guys on, what is this, Thursday now. I'll see you guys on Thursday for another stream from the Survival Guide world. I'm not sure what we'll be doing, actually. We'll see. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. My name's been Pixel Riffs. I'll see you folks soon. Bye for now.